Hey everyone! So, this is Allie, CG's Mistress of the Dark, and Resident Velociraptor. Let me introduce Bonnie. We
Hi,
call her
everybody.
Grandma Bonnie.
Grandma Bonnie. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Well, now that's true. It wasn't then, but yeah.
No, but we felt it. We felt the aura of the sweetness of a grandmother.
Well, there are worse things to have, worse auras to have than that, I guess.
Yeah, she is on here because she was on Mad Mad House, which was the TV show that we've been watching every Thursday in the US and Friday for everybody from Australia. Just so you know, Bonnie, one of our panelists is from Australia, so a lot of our viewers are Australian as well. So it's a big place.
Just so you know, you froze again. So I assume you said something about a connection in Australia, but
Yes.
okay.
Let's see who we have in the chat first. Wolverine, he's one of the panelists that talks about it and watches it. He's loving that I played the intro. I gave her a little bit. Dark Gift Comics, he is a watcher. He's also gone on sometimes to talk about the things the show got wrong about some of the lifestyles of the alt. He's a cool dude. We've got Crazy Mad, whose name is really Chad. And Citizen says welcome. Aardvark. Allie, will you have a bunch of Bonnie's possessions on hand to ask her if she remembers you taking them? No. So that's an inside
explanation.
That's an inside joke referencing that, like, I had a friend on, and I happened to have some stuff of hers that I kept from when we were in middle school.
Wow.
And they thought it was weird, and I thought, well, too bad. But no, I have never met Bonnie, and I did not go to school with her. So I don't have any of her stuff. That'd be weird. Let's see. Yeah, see, hi, Grandma Bonnie.
Hi, Wolverine.
Phantasmagorical is here. She's saying, "Here we go." Let's see. I'm sorry that I was a little late. I was just enjoying myself talking to this very nice lady. Bandito's here and says that it's destined to be one of the most entertaining interviews of the year. He's from Canada. Aardvark is actually from Britain, but he lives in the States and is not a real Aardvark.
No. Okay.
Yeah. And we've got JV, who wants to know who you are. She's Bonnie. She's Bonnie. So, Bonnie.
Yes.
Oh, there's Michael T. He's here. Hail, G-Ma Bonnie.
Well, if you remember, I was on the show, I was goddess.
That's true. She was goddess Bonnie.
Mm-hmm.
Was that your favorite part of the show?
Oh God, yes. That was like, "Oh, my kids are gonna be so proud of me for this one." Winning that challenge, that gross, disgusting challenge, that was definitely a high point.
Was it weird rewatching it when they had played, like, weird music over your mud bath thing? The goddess ceremony?
Um, well, that I remember the goddess ceremony. I remember thinking, "Oh my god, they made it look like softcore porn." And it was nothing like that, but so that was a little bit strange, but, the strangest part was, I think I told you, Allie, when we chatted before that that ceremony was supposed to all about celebrating the older woman, which was me. Um, and the producers, the editor, they changed it completely, so it was all about Lana and her supposedly, transformation into being more accepting, but it's not what that ceremony was at all. So that was a little
Aw.
disappointing. Yeah, I said, "Oh, you're gonna love this episode. It's all about celebrating me and da 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 da," and it was not. But it's okay.
They
I got the thing with the entrails on the head, so that was
you were like, "Yay."
I got that.
Um,
And those of you
so
who are wondering about having to be on your good behavior, no, you don't have to be on your good behavior. I was on that show. I had 3 sons. You can be yourself.
3 sons, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so apparently she's okay with it. If she doesn't like a question, she'll just ignore it. We already talked about that. She's a grown up, which is cool. Um, hold on. I'm a lit. Okay. So, anyway,
Yes.
what is when you went to go on it, you said that you had first signed up your son or looked into it for your son? Is that true? Hello?
Sorry, you froze again. Sorry.
Uh, am I unfrozen now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. In the chat, I think that you had said you had first looked into it to going on to the show because you were going to sign up your son.
Um, yeah, actually, you know what? I forgot about that. You're absolutely right. I had gone into the newspaper. I was just looking for something to do on the weekend with the family. Gosh, I forgot about that. And I saw this little strange ad, for a reality show, and they said, I think, a cross between Survivor and Big Brother or something like that. And I called it because my son was in high school at the time. And I said, would he be old enough? And uh, they said no, but how old are you and would you be interested? And I was like, whoa. And I thought, just for fun, because I was about to turn 50 at the time. And I thought, well, why not just for fun? This would be something different. My kids would get a kick out of just the fact of me going to audition. And so I signed up. I got a slot. I went to audition, and yeah, that's how that happened. I had totally forgotten that I called for my son. You're right. I haven't seen that the chat for a long time.
We'll we'll have to go through it and refresh your memory.
Yeah, I
But
guess.
I was gonna say, do you hate your son? like,
Oh no, no, we were all big. We were huge reality show fans. Those
oh,
reality shows had just gotten started a couple of years before, and we all watched it. And no, no, that was me being kind to my son, figuring he'd have a wonderful time doing it.
oh,
And
good.
yeah, no, and that was me being, "Hey, I'm your mom, and if you wanna go to a reality show, have a good time." So,
All right. Michael T wants to know if you ever used your appearance as marketing for your writing, or was it something that you felt wouldn't make a difference?
I wasn't really in charge much of the marketing. The marketing was very it wasn't as available or, people can self-market so well right now. A lot of the platforms weren't even there. Um, but another thing I told Allie was kind of the reason behind the books was Ia Tashia. She used to do almost something similar to therapy on all of us, where she would, ask what we wanted out of life, what we wanted to do, and then tell us, how to get there. So she talked to me one night, and I said something about I really had always wanted to write. I wanted to write a book, get it published. She said, "What's stopping you?" I said, "I just, haven't been able to do it. I had started some, nothing happened." And she told me to go away and make a plan for getting the books, for writing a book, for getting it published, to make a plan and come back to her with it. And I did. I came back to her with a plan, and then I followed the plan, and thanks to her, Dream Spinner got published, and so did and later on Neptune's Children. But I guess the one time I did try to use the book, they had or use Mad Madhouse, they had a reunion show, and I was one of the ones that came back for the reunion or to be interviewed. And actually, I told that story and talked about the book, and trying to figuring that people who had enjoyed Mad Madhouse would enjoy that story, that she'd inspired it. And in Neptune's Children, one of the characters, Shadow, was very much inspired by Don. I had him in my mind the whole time I was describing him. So and I told him about it, and a few of them mentioned it on whatever their websites were, so that, which was very kind of them. But I don't know that it made a huge difference one way or the other, but tried in little ways like that.
Okay. They had a reunion show?
Yeah.
I haven't. Maybe I can't find it.
Yeah, I don't remember how long afterwards it was on, but they flew a bunch of us back. I'm trying to remember who was there. I was there. I think Brent was there and Jamie was there. I don't know if any of the alts were. And they put together not exactly a reunion, more of a recap. What was the show about, and asking us our feelings about it. And I don't know if I even ended up seeing the show. It was broadcast. I tried to get a copy, but again, this is back when cable was very great. And I think, did I just freeze?
Yeah, that's okay.
Cable was hard to navigate, so I don't know if I even ever found the show.
Wow. Well, I do have some pretty good sleuths. They were able to find Knoll when I wasn't.
Well,
I had pretty much given up. I was like, I guess there's nothing on Knoll, and it turned out I'd been spelling his name wrong
oh,
because Wikipedia has his name spelled wrong.
oh, I never realized that, because I've certainly looked at the Wikipedia entry.
Yeah, it's got an E where there's an A, and then from there they found his wedding page.
Oh, I'm glad he's married. Well, that's good to know. He's one of the ones I haven't been in touch with. So, but
Yeah, he's getting married in May, I think.
Oh, that's so great. That's wonderful. He was the one, I don't think they showed it in the goddess ceremony. Poor Knoll was the one assigned to rub my legs and put oil on it. And I thought, oh God, this poor guy. He's all these gorgeous young women around, and he's rubbing the legs of the 50-year-old. But
he seemed to take it well on camera anyway. From what we saw, he was doing a good job.
We were very friendly. We got along great. I thought he was hysterical. You probably, if you've watched all the episodes, that speech he gave about taking himself on a date, I was hysterical at the table that night. He's so funny.
We do like him. He is one of our favorites. So I told you that we started it at this Star Wars show for kids.
Right.
Well, there was a kid on there named Zakai, and he was our favorite kid. And we've sort of taken the idea of this super cool kid, and it's an entity now. So anybody who's just that super cool, we call them our Zakai. And he
was a Zakai.
Mm-hmm.
He was very
our Zakai.
He was very cool. I thought he was very good looking too.
Oh, well, from the pictures that we've found, he pretty much looks the same.
Good for him.
Yeah. I'm getting a bot in my chat. I'm trying to get rid of it here. Help me, mods. Yes. So Crazy Mad found Knoll, and then Wolva was telling me I have to give full credit. The chat, yes, they found Knoll while we were live. It's true. I had given up. Was Kelly as weird in real life as she was on the show?
Weirder. She was, oh my God. Well, there were two things going on. Yes, she was that weird. She was loud and she was annoying. Sorry, Kelly, if you ever see this. She
Well,
drove
we
us.
looked her up, and she's like a kindergarten teacher now.
Oh my God. Okay. I'm getting a lot out of this conversation. She she made everybody nuts. And but what I sort of realized later, she and some of the others, I went on very naively in some ways. You know, they said this is an experiment. We're going to see how open normal people can be with an alternative lifestyle, how accepting they can be. I was taking them at their word, you know, that this is like an experiment in lifestyles. And some of the other guests, I think, knew more what a reality show was all about and made themselves filmable. And Kelly was one of those. She knew how to get camera time. And that's a lot of, you know, what she did in film. It was to get the camera on her, I realized later. But she, she was pretty much like what you saw her, to the point where after she got, I think that was one of the reasons she was actually off the show as soon as she was, is it was the dynamics
Just
of the
too
house,
much.
just too much. We were all like that. So yeah. So yeah, she was kind of like, I was actually worried about her for a while. I thought there was something emotionally off, and maybe, you know, at the time there was, but I was concerned for her, but then she started getting to me so much that I couldn't handle it anymore, even myself. So, oh, froze again for a moment.
Yeah, that's fine. Does this make us a legitimate show? I We were always legitimate, Michael. It's fine. um, so there's one part there's one scene in one of the earlier shows, I think episode 2 or 3, where there's these random dogs, but we haven't seen them since. And when we looked up one of the chats, it said that they were just dogs that came with the house.
There were
Do
no
you
dogs. I do remember dogs showing up one day, but I think it was just with a production crew or something. We did not have, I wish we
Oh.
had dogs in the house. We didn't have dogs in the house.
Oh, okay.
We had, there was some animal. Somebody had animals, little things in a terrarium. I'm trying to remember what it was. And I made a little house for them, whatever it was. I was worried about them. I don't know if it was I don't know.
Uh, one of the chats that you did said that you adopted a mouse that the snake didn't eat.
Okay, that was it. That's what I'm remembering. Yeah, they brought a mouse for Fiona. Had a snake, except I don't think it was really her snake. They bought a mouse for her, which did not thrill a lot of us. And when it didn't eat the mouse, I made it a little habitat. I made a little home. And when I got kicked off, I made somebody promise. I said, make sure you take care of the mouse.
Aw.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to the mouse, but they promised me they would take care of the mouse.
Did you name it?
I did. I don't remember what its name was.
Aw.
And actually, I just remembered this. If you had to guess which of the alts helped me make the house, who would you guess?
Dawn.
Yes. Yes, he had a very tender-hearted side. Yeah, I didn't think to guess that, but yes, it was Don.
I I decided to guess the last one I would guess first.
Yep, well, you were right. That's what it was.
Crazy Man wants to know who's your favorite alt.
That would be Art. And it didn't start that way because I was very unnerved by Art at the beginning, because I thought, what kind of a person tattoos himself from head to toe, pierces himself from head to toe, and hangs from hooks? I thought this person, there must be something off. And then I don't think they showed this on the show much, but every night an alt chose one of the normals, the regular people, to share a room with, in the most innocent of ways, of course. And
Right.
One
They
night
show a lot of that, actually. I
would they
wish they showed more. Um,
wish they had shown the night I spent with Art because, first of all, he asked me, uh, just jokingly, he said, "Why didn't I, participate in the one where the people were holding up the flaps and showing their genitals and matching, the matching."
yeah.
And I said, well, there were 2 reasons. One, I misunderstood the directions. I thought we were somehow supposed to actually I don't know what I was thinking, match the genitals, and I thought, I know, we
Whoa.
yeah. But the second reason was, I said yeah, I don't even know what I was thinking. The second reason was I had a son in high school and 2 in junior high at the time, I think, and I didn't want to embarrass them. And
Right.
Art said, he said, "Oh, that makes sense. I respect that." And then I started asking him questions, and I asked him about the body piercing and the tattoos and everything. And excuse me. And he said, he had such a journey. When he was young, he and his brothers they were hellraisers. They were in a gang. They were really, really, really tough. And then he got cancer. And he was angry at the cancer and angry at the world and angry, angry, angry that this had happened to him. And when he was in the hospital and he was spewing all this hatred and anger, a nurse grabbed him and took him to the pediatric cancer ward. And, all these little kids there dealing with cancer, bald heads, everything. And she said, if they can deal with it, you can deal with it. And he said that moment just changed him entirely. And when he went into body modification, I mean, he beat cancer, obviously. And the body modification was his way of showing the world that your body can withstand anything. Wait till I come back. It was his way of showing the world that you can overcome anything, that your body can overcome anything if your will is there, if your courage is there. So he tells me the story, and my whole, my whole concerns about him, my whole view of him changed. And from that moment on, I don't think I've ever judged anyone by appearances because Art terrified me. Art turned out to be the gentlest, kindest soul on the show. He and I still exchange birthday greetings, on our birthdays. We chat every once in a while, and, uh, soon after the show, I brought my sons, 2 of my sons to California to meet as many of the people on the show as we could. And Art was there with open arms. He had some connections with the San Diego Zoo. He took us to the zoo, got the kids backstage, and when people would come up and ask him, there was an episode like this on the show, and he was like this in real life. If people would come up and ask him, he would be kind, he would be gentle, he would be patient. He'd explain everything about him. He's just a wonderful, wonderful human being. So
That's awesome.
long answer to why he's my favorite.
Well, it's a complete answer, which is what's important. And that's almost I mean, it's a shorter answer from the chat, but it's almost exactly what you said in your answer from back then.
Really? Okay, well, maybe
Yeah.
I have not read that chat for 18 years, so I'll be
we
interested
can
to see what else is in there.
we can look at it. I could always ask you the questions and see if your answer changed.
Well, except if everybody who's listening has already read the chat, that will get very boring, but we could test me.
Test you. um yeah, it's oh man, I had a question and now it's gone. Oh well, I'll open up the chat of yours really quick. Let's see. Oh, and also another thing is there were all these like backboard things on the website that had nothing to do with the guests or the alts. It was just like chats for viewers to talk. And
Oh,
we went through a lot of those and we noticed a few people who were always in there. And I wish I could remember what my name was on there because I was in there
your name
sometimes.
that's cool.
It
You
was probably
you gotta send me links to all of this stuff because I have not read it, and I would get such a kick out of it.
oh man, it's it runs from like sweet to kind of weird. like, I'm I'm from Canada and I'm having a vampire party. Will you come? like, or let's all stop fighting. It's it's the internet in 2004, so it was
Well,
kind of a different place.
well, it isn't, because after the show, and during the show, and if you read some of the responses, you'll know this. For whatever reason, I mean, you're calling me Grandma Bonnie, but for whatever reason, I got a big following of, I guess what I would describe at the time, they identified as goth girls. They were, very into goth. I got a big following of them, and maybe that was you, and
That was me.
that
yeah.
was okay,
Yeah.
and Wiccans. So I was getting a lot of, oh, hi, puppy.
Everybody likes seeing my dog. I gotta move when he moves, or they'll get mad at me.
It's a cutie.
I gotta prove he's alive, because he just lays there. Sorry, go on.
Oh, that's I like seeing your dog too. Uh, Anyhow, so very unusual comments, and afterwards, oh well, thank you, Citizen Sinister. Um, Afterwards, a lot of them, I don't remember how they tracked me down or if there was some kind of chat, but a lot of people stayed in touch with me. There was one girl in particular who was going through some issues, and she just trusted me and wanted to talk to me, and she would write, and I would try to, help her through what she was going through. But now I got a lot of, they were unusual messages, but always very supportive messages. So that was very nice.
That's good. Yeah, I don't think I thought like it would be possible to write anyone like that. There, I didn't even think that that was a thing that could happen. So I think I
Yeah, I
just
don't remember how we got in touch. There's actually, I just realized there's one woman who still is in touch with me. She found me on, I think you did too, both on Facebook
on.
and Instagram, and she chats with me all the time still. Somebody who was a fan of the show when it was on.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's
So
heck.
would you say it changed your life, or was it just like another step in your life?
I think it changed it, in a couple of ways. I had mentioned to Allie, and I probably said this on the chat now that I'm thinking about it. Um, I was always I was a rule follower. Um, no drinking, no drugs, no nothing. It was very boring, and I just doing the really good student. I was a choir nerd. I was in musicals. I didn't do anything really weird or wild or unusual. Wasn't a partier.
Well, on your Amazon, you described yourself as frighteningly ordinary and hideously well behaved.
That's pretty much it. And I sometimes regret it, because all my friends who were not hideously well behaved and frighteningly normal had much more interesting lives when they were younger, and still ended up with the family and the kids and the house in the suburbs and everything. So I could have had a lot more fun when I was younger and still ended up fine. But
Yeah,
uh,
but you were on TV
I
with
was
entrails.
I was, and but that's it. That was the first time. I was 50 then. Remember, um, I had not really stepped out of my comfort zone much over the years. And that time, when I accidentally got that audition, and they called me, to my surprise, I suddenly got this thing in the mail that said, "Congratulations." I'm just reading the chat.
Oh,
Oh, oh, I see. This is what I get nice comments like these. Thanks, Dark Gift Comics. Um, Oh God. Oh, so I got this packet that said, "Congratulations, you've been chosen to go on to the next stage." And then I got another package, and then they flew me out for an interview. And they said, "What should we know about you?" And I said, "What you should know is that if you actually choose me, I'm likely to chicken out." And then I got the call that I was going to be on the show like 4 days from them. No, I can't see. I can see your comments. I can't see you. Michael T. Um, I had like 4 days and I freaked out and I told my I said, "I can't do this. I can't do this." And my kids basically threatened me with death if I didn't do it. They said, "No, you are going to do this." And on top of that, my husband, just a couple weeks before, a few weeks before, had had a heart attack and he'd had surgery. So I wasn't feeling right about leaving for that reason either. And he also told me he would kill me if I didn't do it. So that's how I ended up going on the show. I might have chickened out otherwise, but after that, it was such a phenomenal experience that it changed me in I stopped overthinking things, and I did things after that, like, on my younger kid's 18th birthday, they wanted to go skydiving, and they wanted me to go with them, and I have fear of heights, and the part of me that came out of Madhouse went, "What the hell? Just I'm gonna do." It actually happened the night in the pit with the entrails. Um, Up to that point in Madhouse, I've been very conscious of my image, very self-conscious about how I was going to appear on TV and what people were gonna see and what they were gonna think of me. And then I'm in this pit, and this stuff is being poured on me. And in my mind, I said, "Okay, you could either embrace this whole experience or just be a jerk." And I decided to embrace the whole experience. And I came out of Madhouse being more willing to embrace experiences. So when my sons wanted to go skydiving, at first I said, "Don't ask me to do that. You know, I'm terrified of heights." And then I thought, I'm going to be basically Madhouse Bonnie, and I'm going to go skydiving. I went skydiving, and I'm just much more willing to take a risk and to do something outside my comfort zone because of that experience, because Madhouse was one of the best experiences of my life. And then I also told you how, because thanks to art, I do not judge. Wait, I'm back. There, we're back. Okay. Because of art, I don't judge people. Um, Not too often, at least. I mean, I won't lie. I judge them sometimes, but um, I don't assume anymore, though, because art was the polar opposite of what I thought he was when I first met him. So I actually, whenever I see somebody really tattooed, I get a warm spot in my heart because they remind me of art. So it just changed me in all kinds of good ways.
Um, so which was the book that you published afterward that Ia Tashia had said you should do?
That was the first one, Dream Spinner.
Okay, and that is the one where the girl,
Goes into
her father was in an accident.
her father's killed in an accident. She was scarred, and then they go into that tapestry of dreams. And the message there was, if you stay in a dream too long, it turns into a nightmare. Or if you try to live in your dreams too long, they'll turn into nightmares. That was the premise.
So the boy in the beginning, because we didn't go very far because we didn't have the time to read a lot, and we were doing silly voices the whole time, so we didn't get like too into it. But the boy who is trying to walk her home, we thought that was Dawn.
No, nobody in Dream Spinner. Nobody in Dream Spinner was based on a Madhouse character. Dream Spinner, I had actually started writing years and years and years before. So the characters were already there. So those were not Madhouse characters. Ia Tashia was the one who gave me the push to pull it out of the drawer where it had been stuck for years and finish it. When I did Neptune's Children, Shadow was Don. But he was really the only Madhouse character that I was picturing then. Very.
Why not put art in something?
If I'd ever written another book, I probably would have. I have, those are the only two novels I ever wrote. I had those two ideas, and I've been looking for another idea ever since. So I would have. I should have. Maybe I still will. It's never too late.
Your Amazon said that you have children's books too.
Yeah.
Or is that's not somebody else, is it?
No, that's me.
Okay.
They're early
Did
readers. They're as innocent as can be. Um,
did you know your truck stop one, uh, as a paperback is selling for $88?
are you serious?
Yeah.
As a paperback?
Yeah,
Who is selling it for $88 and why?
just on Amazon.
On Amazon?
Yeah.
I will have to look this up. No, and that's not even one of my that nope. No, I did not know that.
Yep, a used paperback, $88, good condition. From a Goodwill in Minnesota.
88 well, maybe it's a donation kind of thing. But I don't know why anyone would pay $88 for truck stop. I mean, it's
It's
something like, what is it? Rolling something, heading down the highway, rolling down the road, truck stop, stop truck, come and rest your load. I mean, this is what we're talking about. This is not with $88.
That's okay. Somebody on Amazon was reselling my book for like $60, and I told people, I was like, don't buy it.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll sell it to you for 10.
Yeah, I don't know where that and even Dream Spinner and Neptune's Children, I'm really proud I got books published, but they were they were the first books I'd written, and if I could now, I would certainly tear apart Dream Spinner and start it over again. And Neptune's Children I'd always been in educational publishing where you have to be very, very careful about what you put in books, or they're not going to get sold into the schools and stuff. So when I wrote Neptune's Children, I still had a lot of that in mind. And the premise of that, if you aren't familiar with it, is there's your basic biological attack. All the adults die, anyone over the age of puberty, and kids are left alive. And this takes place in a theme park, and you get kind of a Lord of the Flies thing going on. But I
The way
was
you were describing it sounded like
nervous to let
Disney
that go
World.
to its logical extreme. Are we back?
Yeah.
I was nervous to let it go to its logical extreme, so it stayed a little bit tamer than it should have. And of course, years later, you get Hunger Games and things like that, where kids are tearing each other apart. And um,
Well, Lord of the Flies, they kill the one kid.
yeah, well, Lord of the Flies really was never meant for kids. It just, for some bizarre reason, ended up being because they were young protagonists.
That's true.
School started teaching them, but that, I mean, if you ever studied in school, that's a satire.
Yeah.
I was told most of you are comics people. Yeah, so take one of my books and turn it into a comic.
You heard it, people.
That's where
Uh,
we get famous.
so Dean, he's another one who's usually on.
Hi, comics mate. Indeed.
Yeah, Comics Mate is Dean.
Oh, okay.
He's in Australia, so it is almost 3 o'clock there, I believe.
As in AM?
It's
No, wait.
almost 3 p.m. tomorrow down there.
Yeah, okay, right. 24 hours difference, right? Or not 24,
Yeah.
but a day's difference. Oh,
Let's
he's speaking
see.
to us from the future. I love it.
Yeah. He never warns us about anything, though. He's so selfish. Okay, yeah. So it did kind of sound like Lord of the Flies at Disney World because we were reading the description, and I was like, this sounds just like Disney World.
Oh, it definitely was Disney World. I'm a theme park freak, and everything, the Isles of Wonder, sort of a cross between Disney World and Universal Studios. And while I was writing it, I went down to I've been to Disneyland a million times and Universal too. But I went
Disneyland or Disney World?
both.
Oh, okay.
And I did the backstage tour, so all the descriptions in um, Neptune's Children about the giant kitchens and things like that. That was based on stuff I saw on the backstage tour. So, yeah, it definitely was Disney World and Universal.
Yeah, we were reading it, and I was like, this is absolutely Disney World. If it's not, then she made up Disney World, and that's amazing.
Yeah, but I had my islands and yeah.
Yeah. Um, I I love Disney World. Well, I haven't gone in a while, but I love Disney World so much that when I watched the Castle show, I would cry. Oh, Did the castle show make you emotional?
But they didn't have last time I went there, they didn't have those big spectacular castle shows, but I went to Universal and they do the same thing on the Harry Potter on Hogsworts.
Yeah.
And I got extraordinarily emotional. And then my husband and I went to Disney World, and in the and what's it called?
Animal Kingdom?
Animal Kingdom. They do these magnificent shows on
Yep.
the tree in the center and everything. I was emotional as hell. Just so yes, I do get very emotional at those things.
See, Chad, it's not just me.
No, no.
I think I showed Dean a video of the castle show, and I thought, oh, it's just a video, I'll be fine. But I was still crying because I remembered what it was like to be there. So I was just like, ah! It was
And for
ridiculous.
me, it just, I mean, not only was it different and beautiful and wonderful, I'm thinking the Hogsworts one, but, um, when you get to be my age, things that make you feel a little kid, like a little kid again, are such a gift. And those shows do that for me. They make me feel like a little kid. Not that
What
I
house?
ever don't feel like a little kid, but
What house are you in?
oh, I read all the books like the moment they came out, and I don't think I ever put myself in a house, but
Oh, that would be like 25 years ago now too.
yeah. Uh,
Because
love
they
it.
came out like I was the same age as Harry as they were coming out. So when the first one came out, I was 11, just like he was.
I think you always picture yourself hanging out with Harry and everybody else, so I guess I'd
Not
be
me.
there. No? Where were you?
I'm a Slytherin.
Oh, well, yeah, that makes sense. No, that makes sense. I always had trouble with the whole sorting thing anyhow, because it was like predestination of people. They would go into the house and those are going away. We went away again. The houses had personality. It was like once you were slotted in one of those houses, you didn't have a chance at anything else. And I always thought that was wrong.
Well,
An
she
argument.
says that that's not like 100% because like Merlin was a Slytherin and he was, I mean, arguably not good, but he was not evil.
Wait, Merlin?
Yeah.
I missed that. Merlin from King Arthur's court, or was there a different Merlin that I forgot about in the books?
No, King Arthur Merlin.
Oh, okay. He was okay. I did not. I missed that. Um, no, and I guess there could be good Slytherins, but I always felt, was there a Hufflepuff that anyone cared about?
um,
Just ask.
as a Slytherin, no. But Cedric Diggory was
Oh,
kind of
so
a
a Hufflepuff. Okay,
yes, and he was kind of a big deal.
yeah, and he grew up to be not too bad looking. I saw him in a later movie. I went, "Oh my god, that's Cedric."
What, the guy from Twilight?
No, was he?
Cedric Diggory is Edward from Twilight.
Oh, wait, maybe I'm not thinking the right one. No, no, you know what? I'm thinking of Neville.
Oh, Neville. Yeah, he was a Gryffindor.
Okay, yeah, he was. Okay, I'm a few years away from my Harry Potter lore.
That's okay. My kid's really into Harry Potter, which is why I know it now, because it's just always there now. Um, because she's a Ravenclaw, so she like memorizes everything. So, but no, nobody cares about Hufflepuffs.
Yeah, so I thought that was very sad.
They
Nerding out on her.
focus. Okay, I'm sorry. Oh yeah, there's thing.
Oh,
Sorry.
I was just saying, did people listening in have any other questions? Because I haven't gotten to talk about this in probably years, so I'm happy to answer anything.
Well, I mean, it's an informal thing. They're pretty excited that you said that there was a moment in the chat where they were like she gave us permission to take her books and turn them into comics. Um
Oh, yeah. I
I
would love
I
it.
I wouldn't be surprised if you got fan art. Um they're all pretty much everybody in my chat right now is an artist. So And they've done fan art of Egg Beater. I showed you his
Yeah.
picture before we started. I've gotten fan art of that, and the comic's not even out yet.
Oh, I would love to see that, and, like I said, I would tear them up and redo them all. I'll say this seriously, if anybody is intrigued by the premise of either of those, I would love to rework either story and let it be more true to what it could have been. And if that could be done through a comic book, that's fine with me, and I'd love to work on something like that with someone, so let me know.
Yep, Wise Guys did fan art of Egg Beater too. Yeah, that would I think they could work. I mean, obviously we didn't read the whole thing.
I
But
think Neptune is the better book, although my niece loves Dream Spinner. She used to go into all the Barnes& and Noble and move my book up to the front so everybody would
aw, that's so sweet.
very sweet.
All right, we'll go to the chat where you answered stuff. Oh, and I remember I mentioned that there were people in the backboards because a lot of those people who were in the backboards talking a lot were the ones who asked you questions.
Oh, okay.
Um, and a lot of them had silly names and stuff. But this was like the days of AOL Instant Messenger, so it was it was a little bit of a different time. Where did it go? Okay. La la la. So, Comics Bear said, Bonnie, you cemented your role as my favorite guest when you made your Defiant Goddess comment. I was wondering if you felt if, like the alts, believed that you had gotten enough out of the experiences, and how has that translated in your everyday life?
Um, multi-part answer. First of all, I do want everyone to know that that line, I was so ecstatic when I found those sacred objects. That line was the same day as the goddess ceremony, and it came out of no. Sorry. The line came out of nowhere in my head. So if anyone thought that maybe someone gave me that line or something, they didn't. That just because I felt like a goddess at that moment. Um, and I'm sorry, what was the other part of your question?
Her question was, how is it translated into your everyday life?
Um, oh, and you also asked if the alts thought I had advanced enough. And this is kind of the unfortunate part of the show. Um, this reality show was not as honest as some of the others where, the voting is totally honest, all that. Right before I got um, uh, evicted, I had bumped into Fiona and we were talking, and she said, "Oh, Bonnie, you don't have anything to worry about. We all love you. You are golden. You're not going anywhere for a long time." And I went, "That's wonderful." And then suddenly I'm off on the next show. And after the show was over, Art and Don and a few others said that the producers thought I was keeping the show too nice, because I was calming people down and stuff like that. So they didn't want me to continue on the show after that. So that was too bad because, like I said, I had bought into the whole thing, open to alternate lives. And they had asked me during the interview, because I was so much older, they said, if you went on the show, would you be basically like, would you see yourself as sort of a mother figure? And I said, well, I don't think I could help it because I'm going to be so much older than everybody. But yeah, that's kind of my nature. So I didn't think anything of trying to smooth things out and help people. But again, that apparently wasn't good TV. So I found out later that was why suddenly I was out when all the alts had told me I was safe. And they felt really bad about it. But as far as how it's changed my life, I actually, oh, do I have it? Hold on one second. I will be right back. Fill time for 2 seconds, Allie.
Oh boy. Kill time. That's what I do best.
Okay.
Yeah, Anthony,
All
I
it took.
get that.
All it took. All right. To this day, it's good. I have this. Okay.
That's awesome. Did you make that yourself, or did
I
someone give it to you?
made this after Madhouse, and I wore it proudly. And in fact, I wore it to a Renaissance fair one time, and all these people come, "Are you Bonnie from Madhouse?" Oh, yes, I am. So I was
That's
very
awesome.
proud of that. As you can see, it's 18 years old. I still have it.
You should. Oh man, I would buy that shirt. Well said. How has it changed my life? Well, I have weirdos like you randomly contacting me.
This was one of my favorite things in a long time, and you're not weirdos. You are creative,
Well,
wonderful individuals.
um, the 20-minute alley leaving segment. Oh, come on. That's what everybody does on here.
What was that?
Uh, uh, Chad Crazy Mad is saying that you're lucky that you haven't gotten the 20-minute segment where I talk about how I'm leaving. Um,
Leaving your show
everybody
or leaving
leaving the StreamYard, like
leaving?
leaving the stream. When it's over, I'm like, okay, everybody, I'm leaving, and then we talk about other stuff.
Ah, got it.
We're impressively polite, Bonnie. Right now, they are being impressively
Is that
polite.
being impressively polite? What fun is that?
That's okay. What did Snorum say? Oh, we're weirdos, all right. Well, hey, who's not weirdo? Oh, to take the dog out. Yeah,
Ah,
I took the dog out before we started so that you wouldn't be stranded. I thought that would be rude. Okay, so let's see. You said then, I know all of the alts were delighted with my win of that contest, and I do know that after that, they all commented that I'd grown a tremendous amount. Truthfully, I did feel myself burst beyond some barriers that I've had inside, and I'm still feeling that today.
yep, and I'm still feeling it today.
Does it sound like you when I say it?
Huh?
Does
Well,
it sound,
well, you're reading. I mean, those words were when I was responding in their chat. They had someone furiously typing. So those are my words. So yeah, you sound like me because those are my exact words.
oh, it wasn't you typing?
No, they didn't. Well, not everybody could type, so they just automatically had somebody typing it. Uh,
Huh.
they had us hooked up, but I mean, it was being typed the moment I said it. It was just like closed captioning on a,
Oh,
yeah. And then 'cause
okay.
otherwise I would have been sitting there and correcting my grammar and stuff like that. They didn't want that.
I thought that was strange. I was like, she's a writer, but there's all these misspelled words. But now it makes
Yeah,
so
I
much more
was
sense.
correcting everything. So
Did you mention who her least favorite guest was? Well,
it
she
was
does.
Kelly. Strangely enough, if you've watched the whole show, you probably thought I'd end up really disliking. Oh God, why am I blanking on his name? The other one who was close to my age, the man, Tim.
Tim?
Yeah, and I did dislike him quite a bit for quite a while in the show. Everybody did. He was like a sort of an overgrown child and loud and rude and everything. But also, he was another one at his time. He was just kind of a sweet guy, and we became very friendly. And we're also still he still contacts me on Facebook. When we went out to California afterwards, what was that? A professional stalker? I missed that. Uh,
Oh, who uses her powers for good, kind of.
okay.
I
Uh,
was taking a screenshot of it so I could remember they said that.
but anyhow, people always thought that because Tim and I had that blow up in one of the episodes, but we ended up very friendly. He's a sweet man. He's a sweet man. And
That's good.
the others, I didn't, I didn't remember. I don't remember feeling negatively about any of the others, whether it was the regular folks or the alts. No.
Okay, don't say who won. I know, but they don't know, so don't say who won. But who did you want to win aside from you?
Aside from me, interestingly, um, well, a couple of people had been out before I was, so you know about them. Um, she ended up being kind of the again, everything's in editing, whatever. I had really admired Nicole. I thought she was a strong young woman and intelligent and spoke her mind and et cetera, et cetera. And she knew how to play people a little bit. She was playing me at times and I kind of knew it, but uh I thought really well of her and I wanted her to win at the time, you know, and then once I left, I couldn't see what happened, so I didn't know of anything that went in between that and the end. But uh, up to the time I left, I really admired her, and it turned out she had a very tough time with that show because
We could tell. It gets really intense.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I mean, obviously it's whatever they wanted to show, but I mean,
yeah,
we're watching.
some of the other people got they were fairly my understanding. Again, I wasn't there. They got a little cruel and vicious. And I think,
Right now that's where we are. We want her to win.
yeah, I wanted her to win. And well, I won't give it away, but the last episode, they brought us all back. And I said something, it was before a winner had been named. Um, but they asked my opinion, and I think I said her at the time. And everybody most other people said something. I don't remember exactly what happened, but I was maybe the only one to say something positive, and she said something along the lines of, "Well, I got the opinion that mattered to me." In other words, my saying that I thought she would win, that meant a lot to her. And when we all after the show was over, we all got together, and she was troubled by being together. I think some of the other guests did a number on her.
Wow. We haven't. Sorry, go on.
The good news is, we're Facebook friends, and we connect once in a while. She's married, she has a little one, she seems very, very happy, and she's still gorgeous.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, she became many of our favorite guests after our last two episodes. Snorrum's excited for when they bring everyone back. Uh, do you keep in touch with everyone? Yeah, she said.
Yeah, I keep in touch with Art, little bit in touch with Fiona, we chat once in a while, little more in touch with Iatishia, Jamie and I said Art, okay. Jamie and I once in a while, we'll chat back and forth, but it's funny, I'm more in touch with the alts than with the regular people. It might have been, you know, the age difference again. We were just at such different points in our lives. But I kind of, I'm sort of a friendly neighborhood stalker too. I'll go on and see how some are doing, and uh, I think Brent's doing real well, and yeah, some of the others I don't. But yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's more the alts I'm in touch with for some reason.
Huh. Is Tashia still full of hate? She seems really angry on the show. We notice like she yells at Hameen like in the very first episode she like screamed at him.
I don't remember.
Was
Well,
like
again,
they
edited stuff, people. So no, she was not mean, and definitely is. Oh, you want to hear a really nice story about Tashia? I mean,
sure.
it's a sad story, but it's a nice story. Um, she lived in Denver. I don't know if she still does. Um, and I had a brother who lived in
Wait,
Denver.
Denver?
Yeah, she
Oh, that's
did.
where I used to live.
I don't know if she still does, but I had a brother that lived in Denver, and sadly, he had cancer. He got cancer, and he was terrified. And like I said, this is very heavy for this kind of a show, but just to show you what Tashia was like is like. And he was very frightened, and he was 49, 48, 49 at the time, and he wanted me to prove to him that there was an afterlife, and I was like, How do you do this? But then I remembered Tashia lived in Denver, and I got in touch with her, and I said, and I knew she had a profound belief in afterlife and ancestors and things. I said, could I ask you a huge favor? And I asked if she would talk to my brother. And she not only talked with him, she met with him a few times. She gave him hope. He did pass away, but that's Tashia did that. She's a very, very caring, loving woman. And she's on Facebook, and she supports all kinds of people and causes, and a lot of times when she would yell at people, it was to make them better. That was why she was yelling like a very stern mom.
Okay.
But I'll always be grateful to her for. Oh, thank you. That was a long time ago, but thank you for the condolences. But that's why I've always had a very, very warm spot in my heart for her. She made my brother feel better when he needed someone to give him some hope.
That's good.
Yeah.
Oh, Michael T is just telling who's left. Her name, her name is not Emily, it's Jamie.
Jamie.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's good that she did that.
Yeah.
My dad died of cancer 2 years ago, and he was kind of in the same area where he wanted that too. So I get it.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Our chat's getting a little crazy now. It's getting late. There are a bunch of kids. Okay, this was a good one. What was your first reaction when you saw the alts?
I was delighted. For a person who is very by the book and square and all that kind of stuff, I've always loved the bizarre and supernatural and Halloween. You should have seen my front yard at Halloween. It was amazing. I had coffins. And I was. I think I told Allie this. I was nervous about going on the reality show because at the time you didn't know who you're going to be paired off with, and I was imagining I'm Jewish. I imagined myself being put in a house with a Nazi or something like that.
Oh yeah,
And
you did tell me that, and I was like, oh gosh, I don't think sci-fi would have even done that.
for the fireworks, and I didn't. Yeah. So I did some sleuthing online, and just because I'm a good online sleuth, I found some WAN ads where they were looking for people with alternative lifestyles, and they mentioned people like Wiccans and things. I went, I bet that's the show that I auditioned for. So I was kind of hoping, and when I got there and the lights went on, they came up and the alts were there. I'm going, yes, 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 yes. I was so excited. I was so thrilled that
You were like, yes, yes, yes. Oh my gosh, he was the tattooed guy. Yes, yes, yes.
yeah, I was a little worried about art, but yeah, I could, if there was ever a reality show tailor made for me, oddly enough, that one was it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Someone said it could have been a Nazi or worse, a Catholic.
No, I have two daughters-in-law that are Catholic, so they're fine.
Yeah, JP's.
What?
That's literally the same thing that you said. You said you may not believe this, but I was delighted.
Okay.
You just said delighted again.
Original, but yeah, but I'm
That's
not original anymore. But that's how I
that's
was.
awesome. I've always been fascinated with vampires, witches, and every other individual that populates fantasy and science fiction.
Well, that's when Anne Rice in Interviews with the Vampire had come out. I devoured vampire books after that. That was before Twilight and
Oh
before
yeah, no,
just when
I'm
vampires
a
were trying to get trendy.
I'm a big Anne Rice fan. I've got a shelf and a half over there of all her stuff.
Yeah,
Mm.
that was when she was first coming out, and it's like everything else came after, where all of a sudden all the vampires were young and sexy, but you know,
Yeah, before then it was all Nosferatu and
yes, yeah.
yeah, and pretty much just Nosferatu.
Well, there were other stories, but yeah, they were not young and sexy. They were bloodsuckers.
Yeah.
Just we could get into a whole other vampire discussion. And Don, by the way, on the show, maybe I mentioned this in the chat. I think I did mention in the chat. A couple of times I cooked. We took turns, and
Did
John
he eat regular food?
he absolutely ate regular food. He loved yeah, I made him spaghetti. He wolfed on the spaghetti. I made chicken. He made, yeah, he absolutely did.
Okay.
Yeah.
We kind of thought he did, but um I was wondering if it was like just meat, or like just
Spaghetti.
red stuff. Like
Well, the spaghetti was red.
yeah. Me and Allie have an Anne Rice competition going. Yeah, sort of. Like the laziest Anne Rice competition. Um let's see. What did you whoop, there it is. Okay. Uh the next one was Bonnie, after deciding not to take Avocado's challenge and seeing how things went, do you wish you had participated?
Well, like I mentioned before, I misunderstood the whole thing, and yes, I absolutely wish I had participated. Yeah, because it made me look like such a prude, and I mean, I am, but not that much of a prude. I had no problem seeing people's genitals. Like I said, I had 3 sons. There was nothing there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you had kids. It's
Yeah,
over from there.
nothing there that I hadn't seen before.
You're like, the first time that kid takes off their diaper and runs around, like, it's pretty much done.
Yeah, pretty much.
Snorrum, she didn't, drink any blood?
Yeah, I wasn't to that one.
Yeah, but you did do the fountain.
That wasn't blood.
What was it?
I remember it being disgusting, but it wasn't blood. It was just some kind of colored goop they put together.
I'm so disappointed.
But I
I
will tell you, everything they poured on us in that pit, absolutely real. Absolutely real. The entrails, the dead fish, the rotten, everything was absolutely real.
What kind of entrails? Was, like, pigs or cows or
I
something?
don't know where they got it, but those were intestines. Those were, yeah.
Did it smell?
It was freezing cold. So no, it didn't smell because it was
'Cause it
freezing.
was too cold.
It
That's
was
good, at least it wasn't hot.
they kept it refrigerated so it wouldn't rot. So, they're
Yeah.
pouring freezing cold stuff on us.
Oh my gosh. Did you no, she didn't make it to the bloodshot challenge. Uh, I don't know. That was a lot of corn syrup. So the one that we're talking about was a whole fountain
I
just
think it was the
full.
first challenge, wasn't it?
It was the very first challenge, yeah. And you
That
guys had to uh I forget what you had to find. We had to find things in the blood and put it into other people's
oh, right.
chalices.
People oh, yeah. And do you remember? Because again, it's been so long since somebody got a lot of them, and I remember it was very hurt.
Kelly.
Was it Kelly?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And she was really mad and walked around yelling at everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, but no,
Or at least they show the way they filmed it, it made it look like she was yelling at everybody about it.
she was one person they did not have to exaggerate or edit in any way. That's what you saw was pretty much Kelly.
Well, I'm sad about it not being real blood. I've lived the last 18 years of my life adamant that it was real.
Yeah, I don't know about the bloodshot challenge. I don't know about that.
No, the fountain one. I was like, they
Yeah.
must have slaughtered 50 pigs, like,
Then they would have had the ASPCA down their back, so I don't think they could have gotten away with that.
I
All the
guess.
disclaimers about no animals were harmed. Would you have drunk blood if I got that far? What a good question. I've never been asked that. Um,
You're like, you gotta think about you back then or you now. Would you do it then? And would you do it now?
God, I don't know. Well, I'm thinking also, well, now I'm being very practical. Now, just, health and safety reasons, I'm thinking, hell no. But back,
Eric had to drink a lot, because the one before he had, like, betrayed Knoll
uh-huh.
at the ceremony, so everybody, like, gangs up on him and makes him drink a lot of it, and he looks like he's gonna puke.
Well, if you know what, if you get your other guest on this show that I don't know if you've told the others who else who've been in touch.
Yes.
Oh, you have.
Yes. Well,
Yeah,
so no, I didn't tell everybody, but I told the other panelists that I have on. Um,
okay.
but for everybody, I got in touch with Knoll, and he said he's up for coming on for an interview too, and he's a writer, and he's illustrated or not, and he's done comics, but he hasn't published any of it. So I wanted him to like show us some of that stuff, and he said he would. So
So if you
we'll
get
have to
him
see.
on, ask him about the blood because he'll know.
Okay,
He was there.
no worries. I'm pretty sure we will. His chat was funny.
But he was
Uh,
just funny, very intelligent. I mean, you can tell his humor, very sharp, uh, very quick-witted. He was terrific. He's another one that got shortchanged. I don't know what the producers' reasons were, but they got him off with this bogus thing about drinking cough medicine. It was NyQuil. They had to overdub that, but
yep,
drinking NyQuil, which he just did as who the hell hasn't, to help him sleep at night. And they had the alts turn it into this. Oh my God, he's taking cold medicine and just like taking
he's
a
a drug addict. Yeah.
yeah, and so he was so angry, and I don't know. Ask him about this too, because I don't think it shows up. They totally screwed him over. Comics Mate, you're right. Um, when they brought us, I think when they brought us back at the end, we did something, and he markered on his arm something obscene about the show, and he held it up to the cameras. And I'm sure that didn't make it on the TV, but he was so angry. So that's another thing you could ask him about.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
maybe I shouldn't.
I don't
Oh
remember
dear.
what the phrase was, but it was basically, up yours and showing it only without those words.
Um, when you've talked to him since, was it just like when you had your reunions and stuff?
Yeah, that's the only time.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I tried to find him. I even set up a Madhouse Facebook group Facebook group on I think our 10th reunion. I don't think he joined into that, or I couldn't find him for that. I had trouble with finding him too. Most of the others clocked in for that, but that was quite a while ago.
Well, it might be because his name is spelled wrong everywhere.
Except I knew how to spell his name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, oh yeah, and he did say hi. Uh,
Oh, he did.
in yeah, in the email that he sent me back. He today when I checked my email and I got it, he said, "Tell Bonnie I say hi." So,
Okay, I'm going to have to reconnect with him. I'd just love to hear how he's doing. And
well,
thank him again for putting oil on my legs. For poor guy.
well, his fiance might find that information very interesting.
I was 50. He was what, 20 something, or I don't know. I don't think she absolutely.
Something.
And what was
What a
worse, I don't think I'd shaved my legs that day, so he really got, screwed twice over.
Okay, I've got to write down what did he write on his arm now because my chat is telling me I have to.
I'm sure he'll remember because he was furious.
You could tell. I think probably they downplayed his anger even, like, but you could see there was a simmering underneath.
Yeah.
Welcome Lola. She's my friend. She's on here a lot.
Hi, Lola.
Um, did they play Jenga a lot? Because there's one part where they're all playing Jenga and they made it like a big deal. So
No,
we started.
they did not. They did not want us. We couldn't have anything. There were no books. There were no games. Maybe there was a Jenga one once, but there was like nothing. They just wanted us interacting, which means everything you've heard about reality shows is true. Out of 12 hours in a day, 10 of them would be unbelievably boring. So there was not much to do.
But they gave you nothing to do in the hopes that you would interact a lot.
Yeah, or sometimes they would, oh, somebody taught us yoga. Who was that? I don't remember. Um,
They
and the
had somebody come in, or like one of the
one of
alts did.
one of the alts did. But the alts also, they were nowhere to be seen most of the day, so it was just the regular folks. Praise Jenga. It was just the regular folks with each other, and
So
For the life of me, I can't remember how we filled the time. But there weren't games, there weren't books.
Well, it seemed like Art and Avocado liked to go outside and be naked.
Yeah, they did. I was once, we were all in a hot tub together and both of them were naked. And I wanted to say afterwards to people who thought I was a prude, I said, I was in a hot tub with two naked men. I was not, I think Knoll was, oh no, Knoll. Well, you saw this in the show. There was one where we had an early morning adventure and Knoll came into the room naked to wake us all up and I slapped him on the butt as he went by. So that's another thing his fans I can get jealous about.
Great. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Um,
I said, oh my goodness, because there was a naked Knoll.
where were the camera people? What did they film, or did they only film at certain times?
Sometimes the camera people were right in your face. There was one time I remember Lana and they had purposely left out a book and we were trying to interpret it. And the lens of the camera, these people, was probably as close to me as my computer is right now. They were just, and we were just, you just block it out. But most of the time and then they would be around during the games. You could see them there. But sometimes they were hidden in places we had no idea because I know there's some scene of me talking to someone. I said, where the hell was the camera? I had no idea there were cameras around. So they were sort of not even like Big Brother, because Big Brother, you see the cameras. They had secret cameras.
So it is like the Hunger Games.
Kinda. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god.
As far as I know, they did not have, cameras any place like bathrooms or showers or anything. And we were allowed to take off we were mic'd every hour we were awake. We were allowed to take them off when we went to sleep.
Yeah,
But
but you
yeah,
can. They're the night
it was very
cameras
strange. But we
inside
would
the.
see people in the diary room. Didn't see. I'm waiting for me to come back. In the diary rooms, we didn't see anybody. There would just be somehow questions were there. I don't remember if they were on a sheet of paper or if they suddenly appeared somehow. We went into the diary rooms and there was no one talking. There was no one talking to us in those. But they did interview us face to face. I'm suddenly remembering this stuff every once in a while, kind of like you see on Survivor, where they're obviously talking to a camera person. They would do that sometimes too. So we weren't. It's not like Big Brother. There are people around.
I've never seen Big Brother.
Oh, it's entertaining. We still watch it.
Mad House is like some of the only reality TV I've ever seen. I have no interest in any of that except for like this one. So it I don't know about any of the other stuff. Oh man, there was a question that I was gonna ask and now I don't remember. Oh well. If I remember, I remember. Let's see. Well, she's already answered that, but if you want, you can answer again.
Hey Lola. It happened by accident. I had actually answered an ad I saw, and I answered it for which I didn't remember until Allie reminded me. Answered it for my son. He was too young, but they asked me if how old are you, and do you want to come audition? And I had never done. I never like colored outside the lines in my whole life or done anything weird or unusual. But because I was about to turn 50, I just decided, I'll do this for fun. My kids will get a kick out of it. And then it just escalated. I kept being sent on to the next stage of auditions until suddenly I showed up on the show. So it wasn't really purposeful, but then it was great because I did break out of the box.
Oh yeah, my question was about the cameras. So at night, you weren't mic'd up obviously, but they had like night cameras in the alt rooms so that they could hear what you guys were talking about.
Right.
But I would have actually liked to see more of what you guys all talked about in there, because that's where like it seems like it'd be most interesting.
And it was, and I wish we had, I think a lot of us were taking it more seriously than the show would have you believe. We talked about religion, we talked about philosophy, we talked about all kinds of stuff. And, like that conversation I had with Art, why wouldn't they show that? I thought that was why wouldn't they show that? But they decided to take sort of a sensational route instead for how they edited it and televised it. And it's really too bad because we had great conversations about all those things I said and about alternate lifestyles and um, afterlife and lifestyle choices and things like that. And it's almost none of that really good stuff. I remember actually saying uh, after one of those conversations that I thought was particularly good, I said loudly, I said, I hope the producers realize that what they've got here, like they've got gold here if they would show this stuff. And
But instead, they kind of decided to make it more vapid.
way more vapid. Like I said, they turned the goddess ceremony, which Fiona treated fairly seriously, the first part of it, and they turned it into the soft core mud porn thing.
Yeah, they had the music and everything. It's like
And
wow, wow.
it wasn't at all like that.
Okay, good
Well,
to know.
they're rubbing the oil and everything, but most of it was
How did your husband feel about that?
ceremony. What?
How did your husband feel about that?
My husband is the most good-natured guy, and he
Okay, he wasn't worried.
not remotely.
Okay,
Neither of us. No, nothing to worry about. What does that mean? I threw the dice, or who threw the dice?
you did when you decided to go on. You threw the dice.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was just, well, like I said, it was episode 3, or it was the pit. That's when I really decided to just go for it.
Uh-oh, I think she froze.
I froze. 68. I'm only 68.
Okay,
But thank you.
she's
Uh,
only 68, you guys.
yes, I'm only 6. It was the moment in the pit where I decided to really go for it and just say, when you responded to the ad, did you find that ad? Yes. No, it was on a newspaper. There was no Craigslist. It was in the newspaper, oddly, in like the entertainment, like things to do this weekend. And it was go to Brookfield Zoo and do this and try out for a reality show. It was like the last little ad, and I happened to see it. Mwah, mwah. Thank you.
Oh, my chat's getting too excited.
It was a great experience for me. One of the best experiences of my life. I will say that over and over again. It was. It
Uh,
changed me. It made me happy. It was wonderful.
hey, Billy. Do. You're all right, Lola. Um, we watched Mad House when it was on, and then Face Off. I think it was after that.
I don't blame you.
Uh,
My husband has watched every episode of The Bachelor and Bachelorette.
wow.
Yeah, I took a gamble and went with it, and nobody, like in my workplace, nobody got it. No one understood why I did it. I think they thought I was making a fool of myself. I've never regretted it for a second.
That's good. So you already did that. You had said in the chat back then, I connected to each alt strongly at different times. Fiona and Ia helped me see my potential as a woman. Dawn and Art were constantly giving me love and affection. Ava was the one who forced me not to think of what others would think of me.
Yeah, well, that's true. Although Avocado, I never felt really that close to. He was something about him, considering he was a naturalist, it's kind of, or naturist, it was sort of unusual. Didn't feel quite authentic to me. I don't know what it was. The others felt, I mean, Don was a little bit of he was playing a role too to some extent, but
How long did it take him to get ready in the morning or in the afternoon?
he never let us know. The only clue I ever had once is like I mentioned, I took my sons to California to meet everybody. And at one point, Don knew I was coming to his house, but I think he forgot what time. And I called or something, but I got there. He basically said, hold on. And I didn't see him for 15 minutes. And at that point, I'm thinking is when he put on the white makeup in the elevator.
Oh no.
And
Don't tell me that. I've been living under this illusion.
well, you've seen, I mean, I'm sure he's not a bodybuilder now with vampire makeup on, or is he?
Oh, he is.
Oh, he's still vampiring?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. But what I loved, we went in his,
You're just like, oh, he didn't grow out of it. Oh dear.
well, I saw him eat spaghetti. And
So it means
um, but when I went to his house, it was around Christmas time. And what I absolutely adored, first of all, his house was weird. I seem to remember a red velvet couch or something like that. But his Christmas tree was bone white, just twigs, and he had little vials of bubbling blood all over it. I went, yes, that's my Don.
I have a red velvet couch.
Yeah, but you're not a vamp. Oh no, and he had a table. I think I'm remembering this right, where the base was a coffin. I think I'm remembering that correctly. I'm hoping I'm not getting it confused with what was in the madhouse, but I think at home he had a table with a coffin base.
I have a mirror. A coffin mirror.
There you go.
Crazy Mad wants to know if you do any other reality shows.
At this point, probably not, but soon after Madhouse, I did send an application to Survivor, and I got really excited because I got a call at work that from Survivor, and they said they were interested and they'd get back in touch with me, and then they never did. But at that time, I would have liked to.
But not now.
The shows that are on now,
That's fair.
yeah, I guess there are none that interest me. I couldn't do Survivor now. I mean, that would kill me.
Could you do Mad House again?
I think so, yes.
What if it wasn't the original alts? What if they brought on new alts that were like what is considered alternative lifestyles now?
Oh, interesting.
Because since then things have gotten a lot weirder.
A lot alter, yeah, altier. I guess I'd be tempted just because it was such a good experience, and just like at 50, I wanted to do something different. Like I said, 2 years, not before. In 2 years, I'll be 70, and that'd be a hell of a way to celebrate a 70th birthday.
That would be cool. How many layers of makeup did Don wear? Because it looks like he fell in a vat of Sephora.
Like I said, all I know is that when I got to his house, he didn't appear for 15 minutes. So
at least 15 minutes, you guys.
Yeah.
You got way farther than I did. I went once to a casting call for a TV series. Sunset Beach, it was called. Never made it past the first stage. Aw, poor wise guys.
Well, I think in some ways I lucked out with Madhouse because, first of all, reality shows were new, so the world wasn't trying to get on them yet. And the fact that I was 50 trying out for this, there aren't going to be a whole lot of people my age trying out for something like that. So I was, I probably wasn't competing against a whole hell of a lot of people if they were looking for one all married at first sight. I kind of got a husband already.
Dean is in Australia and he wants to get to the US real bad.
I have friends that are devoted to that show, Married at First Sight. So
really,
yeah. So whatever I was saying, I think I was done. Thank you, Lola.
All right. Dean is willing to be second husband.
Okay, we'll talk, Dean.
Let's see. Fiona made the comment that Mad Mad House is more than a game, it is life. Do you agree with her statement based on what you learned while staying in the house?
Sort of. Like I said, if they'd shown the good conversations, it was, about different kinds of people coming together, making judgments that may or may not have been accurate, learning to compromise, learning to get along or not. So, yeah, it was sort of an extreme form of life, I guess. Yeah.
You said absolutely 100% and then some.
Okay, so this was a more thoughtful version of that, I guess.
Yeah. Uh, someone said, first, let me say I think you are a wonderful person and you're my favorite of the guests. Next, I would like to ask you how much you feel your experience has impacted your life and how much you think you will pursue and carry with you in the future. You've kind of said this already, so I'll just say what you said then.
Okay.
Said it because you've said this. It has impacted my life a great deal. I'm more open to taking risks. I'm more open to other individuals, no matter what they look like, and I have friends now that I never thought I'd have, and I never intend to lose them either.
Yeah. I mean, where else would I have been friends with a stripper? Jamie, of all the regulars, Jamie and I were. She was my closest friend on the show for the time I was there.
Really?
Yeah, and she looks. Damn, that woman looks good. She she looks unbelievably good.
Well, she's Australian too. Um,
Is she?
yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Uh, in the so some of the people that I was watching with knew who she was when we started it.
Ja-
They're like, "Is
Not Fiona. I mean
oh
Fiona.
no no no, oh
Ja-
no, sorry, I was talking about Fiona. No, never
Fiona was
mind.
Australian, definitely.
Yeah, not Jamie. No.
She's done her up. She's geez. Fiona recently, she and other women started an all women charter airplane business. Um,
Really?
Started a charter airplane business. All
Huh.
women charter airplane business. She just doesn't stop reinventing herself.
Well, we listened to her band. We didn't like it as much as we liked Art's band or Avocado's band though.
Okay.
Because Avocado's band is funny. Like, it's hilarious. Where is it? There was a question. There we go.
I've been with my husband 43 years. And we met because his father fixed us up. His father met me at a wedding and took my number and gave it to his son. So, and our honeymoon was in Disneyland, Disney World.
Oh, that's a great honeymoon. How many days?
Well, it was split. We spent part of it in Disney World, 3 or 4 days, and then we went to Nassau.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Do you think they should release a behind the scenes? Could they? They might not even have the footage anymore.
I wonder. They probably don't. I don't know if that production company even still exists, but you guys would love to see the behind the scenes stuff. It was it was a whole different show, and it was really good.
That would be cool. Do you hear that, world? We want the behind the scenes sci-fi. I'll buy it. How long didn't you just say 43 years?
For my marriage, yeah,
Yeah,
43. Yeah.
that's awesome. Congratulations. My grandparents have been together almost 70 years.
Wow. So I
Yeah.
saw something to aspire to. Now my
Yeah.
my husband, when I went on the show, he put together a little care package for me that had toy spiders and I don't know all these creepy things because that's the kind of guy he is.
The Bonnie cut. Oh my goodness.
Well, then you'd see the real goddess ceremony at least.
Without the
Yeah.
You're like, "It was so beautiful and uplifting," and it's like, "Meow, meow, meow."
And plus, I told all my friends to watch it because that's my episode. Um, no one I think ever asked me if I had a regret on that show, and I will tell you what it was because I'm just thinking. Um, I don't know if I have good advice. Just, but I would try if you needed some. Do you remember the competition with the cages?
Yeah.
And I left at one point. A couple things about that competition. First of all, sometimes I was just too freaking nice. There was one time, I think, in the cage. Let's see, Lana was going to leave before the goddess ceremony. She was on the verge of leaving. And I went to her and I talked to her and convinced her to stay. That's not what you do on a reality show. You should talk somebody into leaving. Um, then in the cage match, I I wasn't stupid. We'd seen them building this thing outside, and I made sure before the cage thing that I was dressed warm. And for a long time before the cage match, they had us in this room. And I said, I really need to go to the washroom. They said, no, 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 you can't go to the washroom. I said, screw it, I'm going to the washroom because I need to go to the washroom. And little did I know, one of the reasons they didn't want us to go was so as you're standing in this cage, you would start feeling the call of nature. But so I did everything right. And then in the cage, um, about halfway up, I was so convinced because I had talked to Fiona, I think, and she had told me that I was gold, didn't have to worry about leaving, being kicked out ever and all that. And about two-thirds of the way up, I could have gone the whole way. I could have stayed. And I thought a couple of the other guests were in more trouble than me. And I said, okay, guys, I remember saying this to Knoll. I don't know if he'll remember it. I said, I'll go out, but you got to promise me to stay in and not let Tim win because I knew if Tim didn't win, he'd be the next one to go. And so, yeah,
They
they
betrayed
promised. So
you.
I left, and and then as I'm waiting around, all of a sudden, there's Noel, and there's other people that said they wouldn't leave, and it's like, what the hell? And Tim ended up winning that match, and if he hadn't, I'm sure he would have been the next one to leave, and I would have been still in the game after that. So that was a case where being a nice person did not serve me well. I've always just wished I had pushed all the way, gone to the top of the cage, and outlasted Tim because I think I could have.
Wow.
Yeah,
They betrayed you.
they betrayed me. When people were emotionally breaking down, they actually, now maybe I was naive, but the times I saw people breaking down, because remember, you don't know what they're going to put in the show or not. When you're having your emotions, you're having your emotions. When Lana was messed up and wanted to leave and was crying, she was crying to me. She was really crying. At one point, Brent was really upset that he thought Fiona was angry with him, and he was truly, honestly upset. And when you're filming this, you have to forget the cameras after a while. It's 24/7. And so it's just people talking to people. And when they're breaking down and when they're crying or when they're upset, it's usually real. Um, like I said, Kelly played to the camera a little bit. Some of the others maybe did too. But for the most part, the emotions you're seeing are real emotions. And when you hear on a reality show people talking about how I love you and it's been 3 days, they're not faking that either. When you're in that intense an experience with other people, the emotions are intense too. I love those people. I loved them in 3 days. And uh, it's all very real.
That's good.
Straight, I bet you wish they'd had all the regulars and alts do. That they didn't do, you mean? Nice guys? Or,
I don't know.
yeah, I'm trying to, if you want to clarify the question, I'll try to answer it. I
Let's
mean,
see. Citizen's gonna be married 20 years.
good for
And he
you.
has jury duty. Oh no. Your poor wife.
Yeah, that's well, maybe jury duty and you'll be home fast, they won't need you.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, well, though I was in first grade in '93 too. Let's see. Her favorite alt. She said that already.
It was art if you missed it, but it was
Yeah.
art. We're still friends.
All right, jury duty. Okay. So you said, oh, this is close to what you just said. Do we really see what went on in a true representation of the alts and guests, or is there a lot of creative editing? Kelly came off in a harsh light. Is she really that caustic? And you had said then it's a mix of getting a good sense of what the house was like and creative editing. Kelly certainly did the things you saw, but she's not a bad person either. Tim actually had a sweet side. He made breakfast for all of us, gave the girls little gifts, but you never saw that. What did he give?
I don't remember. I
Oh,
don't remember. I think he made things. I actually don't remember that. But yeah, he was sweeter. And also like Brent, they portrayed him as this really um Christian boy. He was just a I mean, he was a good guy, but he was not any more stick in the mud religious than anybody else. But that was the character they created for him.
okay.
Yeah, so there was some they had personality types and they I lucked out because they wanted me to they could have made me prudy or cold or whatever like they made me look a couple of times.
I don't think anyone could make you look cold.
Well, there were a couple times where they made me look different than I was, but for the most part they let me be the mom figure, which is it was pretty true to what I was, what you saw in the show. So I was very fortunate, but Uh, they made Nicole look worse than she was at times. They made Jamie look better than she was. Not better in that good bad person, but Jamie kept backing out of things and not doing challenges and stuff like that. And the time the episode that got rid of me, everybody was convinced that Jamie was going to be sent home because she had not been doing stuff. She'd been backing out of challenges and things. So they had a way they wanted the show to go and be seen, and that they were the producers. I guess they had a right to make it be what they wanted it to be.
It sounds like the Bonnie cut would have been better though.
Oh, but cool and fun for y'all to do that they didn't already do on the show. God knows I've watched enough reality shows in my life. Maybe something more. There's some really I've watched most Survivors. They didn't do much like with puzzles or brain things, and that would have been fun to do to go. They went again for the sensational on Madhouse, but would have been nice to have other kinds of challenges, or maybe even challenges tied to the. No, they did sensationalize the alt lifestyle, so never mind with that. Um,
And so they weren't like it wasn't as crazy as it they made it look. It was just pretty regular. They weren't like walking around, I don't know, chanting or something.
Panting?
Chanting.
Yeah. No, no. I have such nice memories of a lot of this. Uh, we didn't see them much during the day. Fiona, when she appeared, there was one time where Fiona, I think, faked it. There was some ceremony where she pretended like she'd been overcome by a spirit or something. She's like panting and fainting, and um, I think that was all for cameras. But Iatishia, she talked about religious things and beliefs, but most of it seemed from the heart. She actually asked me once, I mentioned I'm Jewish. There's a prayer called the Misha Berach, and she vaguely remembered it. And she asked me if I'd sing it for her because she wanted to hear it and understand the meaning more. And um, I told you the conversation Art had with me. So no, There was nothing really weird. During the day when we would be sitting around and talking, we'd be sitting around and talking.
So, um, when Ia like yelled at Hameen, was that the only time that she like yelled at anyone? Do you remember that?
She yelled at Brent
Well,
because
no, in her ceremony, she said like the your ancestors had like the whips at their backs or something like, and that was why she voted him off, was because she didn't feel like he was connected to his ancestors.
oh, you're right. I'd forgotten that. Yeah, I don't think I ever saw her get that harsh in that way with anyone else. She did come down hard, as I said, on Brent because Brent had some problems and issues he was dealing with, and she was coming down hard on him to try to get him to clean up his act a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, Wilva was gonna ask what you thought of her Dark Goddess Day. So, the day when in the show, what it looks like to us is that she said she was going to embody the Dark Goddess, so she put on like a black bra and walked around like being rude to Knoll
And to Brent, I think.
and to Brent. Okay,
That's the day Brent got mad. Um,
is that what you were talking about?
I think so, and I believe I'm almost positive Fiona warned me she was gonna do that. She said, "Don't worry about it." Like, "I'm gonna be doing this, but don't worry, it's not about you. It's not." Yeah, so
That was nice of her.
it was nice of her, but it just shows you she wanted to shake up the house a little bit. So she did it for that reason, and she told me she was going to do it. I'd forgotten that, but she told me she was gonna do it.
Okay.
I remember I was older than all the alts too, so I think they worked.
Yeah.
Did anyone get a raw deal? Yeah, I did. No, Nicole did. I think mainly those three, I think.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Anthony didn't like the
Choose
Dark
to pay.
Goddess thing. Yeah, he came on and was a little he's our resident pagan, so he kind of explained some stuff on one of the shows that I did. Yeah, I'm sorry, JP's. I'll open it and you can go look at it again at some point. Basically, that's what she did. She was mad at Brent and Knoll, and so she did a ceremony or something and put on a leather bra and walked around being mean.
And because she knew she looked damn good in that leather bra.
That's what some of the people on the panel and chat have said.
Yes, she.
Uh, how long were you in the house?
Well, what probably isn't clear, that whole thing was filmed over 3 weeks, and I was in there for about half of it.
Okay,
It was a very fast reality show.
so like 10 or 11 days.
Me? Yeah, I would say 10 days or so.
Okay, well that's what you said then. So,
Oh, okay.
what was going through your head as you were leaving?
I was in total shock because, like I told you, they had said I didn't have to worry, that I wouldn't be going anywhere, and when they did that, ceremony and the first necklace went around my neck, I think you can even see it in the, TV show of like, "Whoa, where's this?" And then the second necklace, I was in complete shock, I wasn't expecting it. Going through my head, I just wanted to, like, plead with them. Is "No, no, no," because I wasn't ready for the experience to be over, I was loving it so much. And I'm supposed to walk out and not talk to anybody, and I said, "Screw this," and I turned around and I went back. I don't remember if they filmed it or not, and everybody ran forward and hugged me, which was nice. And then I'm wandering in the house like a lost soul for a while, and I bumped into Fiona, and I said, "What gives?" And she said, "Oh, back, I can't talk, I can't talk." She disappeared. And then suddenly you're in a car going away, and nobody has talked to you, nobody has let you decompress in any way. It was a horrible, isolating, depressing experience.
Aw.
part of this wonderful thing and then suddenly be in a car and taken to a hotel. So that was really difficult. That was really difficult.
So it was just like, all right, get out.
Yeah, yeah.
Aw,
It was very sad. And then I
very
was,
sad.
like I said, they filmed it over 3 weeks, so about, uh,
So you'd had almost a month to like get to know everybody.
just 10 days, but like I said,
Oh
you're
yeah, filmed over 3 weeks. Yeah, well, 10 days is still like a week and a half
and when it's that
constantly.
intense, you
You didn't have anything else to do.
yeah, you bond, and it's wonderful, and you become very close. And I got home and I was so down, and then about 3 days later, I came home from work and my husband's like got this big grin on his face. He says, "You just got a call from LA. They want you to come back for a finale show or a reunion or something, a finale show." And I'm like, "Really, really?" I was so happy. And then
Aw.
go back and see everybody again, so that was great.
So you weren't just totally cut off forever.
No, I got to go back for that last show, and it was cool. How cold was it in the house? No, it was pretty normal. It wasn't 38 degrees. Outside, it was cold as hell sometimes. Yeah, it was
Did you just stop yourself from cursing?
yeah, I don't know why I'm stopping myself. I could
That
perfectly capable of cursing, and I do it quite often, but
that's very sweet. My my chat will find that very sweet too. Let's see.
grandma Jean kicking in.
Yeah. Compress your world and everything intensifies. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great way of saying it. Is that from something, Wolverine? Is that a quote or is that yours?
It's probably him. He's kind
Oh,
of like Avocado. He never wears a shirt. But he can be surprisingly deep when he wants to be.
that's profound.
Yeah, profound.
Well, we all kind of found that out during COVID, didn't we? Compress your world and everything intensifies.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep, it's me, he says. I
Well,
knew
well
it.
done, Wolverine. I like that.
Let's see. It said, you said back then, shock, certainly, but I was very much feeling the love and affection and respect of everyone in the house. I also felt strangely happy. Fiona had even sung a song over me before I left, and Don had given me a personal gift. What did he give you?
Yeah, he did.
Did he give you fangs?
No, but I just remembered something. Oh my God. He gave me a necklace or something. But then before I left, I think I'm remembering this right. And if not, I apologize to Don in absentia. He gave me a necklace. And then he came back to me and he said, "Would you mind giving that back to me? It's actually my girlfriend's." I'm almost positive that happened. So
Why did he do that?
I think he honestly wanted to give me a little something and then realized he was going to get in bad trouble for it. I mean, remember, he was a guy in his 20s at that time, and he had a girlfriend waiting at home who I eventually met. And he just didn't want to get in trouble.
Was she the one who came on the show later and she like drank blood with him and
I
did
think
the
so.
energy thing with okay, I thought so.
Yeah.
Uh let's see. Somebody said something. Da, 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 da. Oh, right. Teach Dean your ways. Hold on. I need to blow my nose.
I am sorry, Dean, you are full of anger. I unfortunately do not know what Freddo frogs are.
Dean just wants to be in the US. He doesn't want to be in Australia.
Does he know what he's getting into coming to the Dean? Do you know what you're getting into coming to the US? You may want to stay where you are.
I think he knows.
It's a weird place.
um let's see. Oh, do you know the song that Fiona sang, or was it just a song that she saying?
I don't know.
Okay. Let's see. Being a woman over 50, did you ever feel out of place within a group of younger competitors? You seem like you do great in any situation.
That's very sweet. Oh, you're reading something from the whoever
Yeah,
saying very sweet.
that's
Uh,
very sweet. Just plain tired from 18 years ago.
I did feel really out of place the first 3 days. Um, they were drinking a lot. The producers ended up getting rid of a lot of the liquor because they were just getting drunk. And I felt like somebody had dumped that 50-year-old woman into a frat house, and I did not belong there. And I actually said that to them at one point. I said, I remember talking to a few of them saying, I don't want you to think I don't like you guys or whatever. I said, I just feel so out of place. And they actually apologized. They felt bad for making me feel out of place. And within a couple of days, all the age and all the other boundaries had disappeared. And I didn't feel the age difference anymore.
Oh, that's good. See, it pays to voice your feelings sometimes.
Yeah.
Compared to Australia, the U.S. is Disney World.
I'm sorry.
Let's see. And you did say on here back then, the first couple days I felt very out of place, like I'd been thrown into the middle of a fraternity party.
Oh
But
God, I
then,
don't have an original thought in my head.
yeah, but
That
then as we shared the experience together, age disappeared entirely and I became best friends with almost everyone.
I swear I have not read this chat in 18 years, and I'm saying the same things, and that is freaking me the hell out. Oh
Well,
my God.
you haven't changed as much as you thought, maybe.
That's not. Or
You're
those experiences were so engraved, I guess, or whatever, that's how I felt, and that's how I remember. I could have drank those. Now I still don't drink. I'm not a drinker.
all right. Hello, Bonnie from Florida.
Or
What
another chat.
this is from back then. What did your kids' family friends think of your being on it? And you had said, my kids loved every second. Every time I come home, one of them says, it's the TV star. Do they still do that or
No,
not
pretty
anymore?
much everybody's forgotten I was ever on the show. That's why I was getting such a kick out of this.
Oh no.
They'll say something about reality shows, and I'll say something knowledgeable about it, and they'll disagree with me, and I will say, "Excuse me, do you remember what I did?"
Hello.
Mom, or or one of my brother will say it, or something like my other brother will say it, or somebody will. They've just it was 18 years ago.
Well, that's not that long. That's only half my life.
Well, I realized when you told me your age, I said, "Oh Jesus, she's half my age." This is very, very upsetting.
Well, I mean, the good news is you're remembered.
Well, thanks to you, yes, yes.
uh so and then you said most of my friends thought it was terrific. Only a few thought I was crazy.
My good friends, that's true. They thought it was fun. A few relatives did not, and as I said, the people at work really surprised me. They didn't get it. But I was the kind of place I worked was more conservative kind of workplace. It was, as I said, I was in educational publishing. I was actually they always called me editor on the show. I was actually a vice president and editorial director at the company I was at.
So
And
they downplayed what you were doing?
oh, they not only did they downplay it, I was only gone from work for a little over a week and a half, and they made it, and I got permission from my editor in chief, and but they just like, why would she do that? Why would she go on TV and let herself look like that? Why would she abdicate her responsibilities at work? And because it's the adventure of a lifetime, people. They didn't. A lot of them just didn't get it.
Oh well.
I haven't watched it for, you say, watching it 20 years later. I haven't watched it for a long time, but this has been such a joy to be able to talk about and have people care about it because that did go on for several years after the show, and it always reminded me that, yeah, I can do something crazy, and yeah, I did this wonderful thing, and I don't get to talk about it much anymore. So it feels wonderful to reconnect.
Good. Michael T saying it's not even half of his life and it's over 2/3 of my life. Oof, that's fair.
Sure.
All right, let's see. So, Don actually went into this chat and asked you questions while you were in
Yeah,
the chat.
I remember him saying hi, Bonnie, or something. He made himself.
Yeah, and he said, did you like it when pizza was brought out when you were in the cage?
Oh, right. They were trying to tempt us to come out of it.
Wait, so they didn't give you guys the pizza? They just brought pizza out and let you guys like smell it?
Yeah. Well,
That's
they also
dirty.
another thing they did not see, or it was not on the show, we were in the cage and it was really cold. Oh, remember I said I had been smart enough to dress warm? That's the other stupid thing I did. And a lot of them, especially the younger girls, were more into looking very sexy and cute. So they were wearing these things they should not have worn for a nighttime competition. I ended up giving Lana my sweatshirt top, I think. But very early in the competition, everybody was talking about sort of rebelling and saying, well, if we all say we're going to leave at once, we can get out of this stupid cage. We can go eat. We can go sleep. If we all say it at once. And they started conspiring to get out of the cage. And Art, that was the one time I think Art got mad. He came out and started yelling at us. And Tashia may have too. They were just so, they appeared to be so angry that we were ready to just sort of sabotage the whole thing for comfort. Now, I don't know if the producers told them to do it, thinking back on that now, but they got very angry and they were also tempting with the food. But after that, everybody stayed in the cage and only went out. Lana was actually freezing, and I remember saying, "Do you mind if I take my sweatshirt back before you leave?" And uh, Brent went to talk. I think that was right after the Dark Goddess thing. So Brent was worried about Fiona and went out to talk to her. I think I may have persuaded him to do that. So I do have a streak of evil in me. Okay. Um, it's like,
Maybe you're more Slytherin than you thought.
yes, a little bit Slytherin. Go, well, that's one guy out of the cage. And I knew he wasn't going to be going home. Yeah. So then people started leaving for more legitimate reasons.
Wow.
Sleepy.
I'm always sleepy. That you told him it didn't bother you at all. Let's see. Then someone said, "Can you tell us about the gifts you received? The flute from Ia and the gift you mentioned from Dawn."
I think we already talked. Oh, what did I say? Did I remember there? Was it a necklace?
Yeah, you said the gift from Dawn was a piece of jewelry. He said it was a keepsake, not a gift, because a keepsake meant we'd see each other again. But
Okay.
then he kept it back.
So I did remember that right. Okay.
Well, you didn't say that, but I'm saying like he went and kept it back.
Oh yeah, he did. He did.
And then she said that Ia gave you an African flute.
Yeah, I didn't remember that, but I'm sure she did.
You're like, probably.
Oh,
Did you feel that you were kind of the mother in a way?
yeah, I think I mentioned that earlier that I think it was clear they kind of wanted me to act that role, but it was this natural role because that's how people saw me, at least at first, until we just were on more of a level playing field. And it was just natural. No, she didn't take the flute back. Um, I was 20 years older than more than some of them, so it was gonna be natural to be a little bit more maternal.
Well, and you're just so sweet.
Thank you. Not always. Ask people who know me well.
What was your reaction to Knoll and Avocado's wake-up call?
That's the one where I slapped his rear. I was surprised to see a naked Knoll, like, in my face,
Naked Knoll.
but, as he went I this I remember from the show, because I remember I can hear my own voice going, "Oh my goodness," or something, and then I slapped him as he went by on his rear.
Oh my god. I guess I don't remember that.
Maybe I'm just remembering it, but I know that happened.
Oh my well, the chat was saying that they remembered the butt slap.
Yeah.
Oh, it's possible that I was clicking and didn't see it because when I'm watching, I'm clicking on this window and clicking on comments and stuff.
He must have had a nice firm butt because I remember it making a thwack.
We'll tell him that you said that. It's a nice thwack.
You gotta let me know when you interview him because I need to be in and see this.
Oh, I will, don't worry. Crazy Mad wants to know what you're doing these days. That's a good question.
What am I doing these days? Well, I semi-retired several years ago. I actually write a blog called "The Grass Is Always Grayer," humor from the far side of middle age. So it's
I know I loved your gingerbread house.
all right. Yeah, you said you read it. So I do that. I work part-time at a gallery. I also docent. Here's a happy thought. But I docent, which is a tour guide educator at the Illinois Holocaust Museum. So I do that and hang around a lot with my grandsons.
A lot.
A lot. Well, they're only 20 minutes away, so they are the joy of my life.
I wrote it down, Anthony. Gosh. Okay. So back then you said I wondered who these naked people were in my room. Then I just started laughing. I thought we'd been invaded. Let's see. How was your
It was
date?
before dawn.
It what?
It was before dawn, so we were in a dark room and there you literally couldn't see who was there. And but I think Knoll said, "Good morning, Bonnie." We froze. It was before dawn, so I really couldn't see who it was. But then I think Knoll said, "Good morning, Bonnie," and I realized who it was.
That kind of shocked me. How was your date/dinner with Eric when you guys picked cards?
Well, I mean, all the date was we walked in together. And other than that, we all sat around the table and just had a fun dinner. That was the one where that was the one time where I knew Nicole was playing me a little bit, but that was fine. Where they asked, "Who would you go on a date with?" And Nicole said, "I would go with Bonnie and try to learn from her," or something like that. And I momentarily thought, "Oh, that's sweet," and then I realized she wants me to vote for her or whatever. I just realized what she was doing, but she did it very well. And that's also when Noel told that hysterical story about taking himself on a date, which, if you have not seen this yet, you will love it.
No, it was funny.
It was hysterical.
His chat was pretty funny too when we read it. That was pretty fun. Let's see. You said we had a great time. I would have gone out with him for real because he was so much fun. Um, at the dinner that night, I actually chose him when Avocado asked who we'd choose, and you said you'd go to an amusement park, but I'm guessing that's because you love amusement parks.
He might have had the love of it too, and I'm glad you read that. I forgot I had chosen Eric, but that makes sense. He's a fun guy. He's a nice guy, really nice guy.
Until he betrayed Knoll.
Yeah, well, again, you don't know. We don't know everything.
I know, but it really like the people watching and stuff on my show were just like, oh, like it was a very big deal. So, because he like got down and yeah, I don't. Let's see. You answered that one already. But Bonnie, apparently they said, Bonnie, several people are asking if you'll marry them.
That's already taken. I already had kids.
You, you've been asked again on here.
I'm so flattered.
Why,
So
why are people always asking you to marry them?
they don't know me.
Oh dear. You
Yeah,
had
I've never
said,
been proposed to by an Australian before, though, so that's cool.
well, now you have.
Yeah.
You had said, I'll have to ask my husband. And then the chat person said, then you can be the polygamist alt on the next Mad Mad House. What was, let's see. You answered some of these already that are like literally the same that you said before. So they asked what was going through your head when Avocado explained the nature game. And you had said, should I or shouldn't I do it? But I want all of you to know I had no problem with the nudity. In fact, I sunbathed next to Avo and Art when they were nude, and shared a jacuzzi with Avo when they didn't bother with a suit.
Yep.
Bonnie, I'd like to give a warm southern hello from Louisiana. I wanted to know if you would tell us what all you and the rest of the people in the house ate the night that you had a raw meal.
Oh, I think he made some god awful goop. I think it was probably the equivalent of a smoothie, and I think that's what we had. He was, yeah. It was. I don't
Not
remember
good.
it fondly. I know that. Did I have a memory of it then?
You then you said we concocted the mother of all salads.
Oh, it's the mother of all salads, not goop. Okay.
And you said Avo put together one of the most delicious salad dressings I've ever had.
Okay, so totally wrong memory. But I know he used to make smoothie type things, and some of them were really terrible.
Yeah, his one of his recipes for his smoothies is still on the website.
Yeah, it was some kind of health drink, and it's,
I was gonna make it and try it on one of the shows. Give it a shot. Be like, all right, everybody, here's avocado smoothie.
I think you should do the blood.
The blood?
Yeah, if you're
Where
gonna
would
try something from the show, take the shot of John's blood.
well,
I'm kidding.
Don would have to return my email. And it might be weird because he has a girlfriend and he's in California and I'm in Florida. I didn't ignore you. I'm gonna say it again since Allie ignored me. The fact that most of Bonnie's answers have been consistent means the experience and her feelings are genuine. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm realizing as I'm saying it. It was just so deeply, and of course, right after the show, people were asking me over and over and over again. So I probably was, it's like memorizing by repetition. Probably a lot of those answers are are buried in my, just sort of burned in my brain from the time after the show.
But I was still glad when midnight came and I could have a sandwich. That's what you said. Did you ever stay up with Dawn? And if so, what did you do all night?
Okay, this I know the answer. I'm sure I'll say the answer because we did, and it was a weird discussion. We were sitting out by the pool, and he talked about two things. One of them was that he left his body at night and would like float around and visit other places by leaving his body. And then he was trying to show me he said, if you stare at the air or the atmosphere real closely, you see all its little particles, all these little dots. And he was talking about that. So we had that. And I think he told me a little bit about the vampire lifestyle. But the interesting thing about Don is he would string together words sometimes that, um, multi-syllable words, and it would make him sound at times very intelligent. But I am a writer and an editor, and all those words put together meant absolutely nothing.
Oh.
He would just babble, and I'd be listening. And for a while, I'm thinking, okay, I'm a smart person. I don't understand what he's saying. And then I realized I'm a smart person. He's not saying anything.
Yeah, a lot of people do that now too.
Yeah.
That's a really popular thing to do now.
But yeah, if you can BS enough and people will believe it. I never saw Don without his vampire contact lenses. By the time he presented himself to us, he was in full some person. Uh, he was in full vampire mode.
Astral projection. Um,
Thank you. Yes, that is what he meant. That is what he was talking about.
did he always so you guys, my house is really cold, that's why I have gloves on. Did he always wake up like in the afternoon, or would he be
We never saw
awake?
it before afternoon. Yeah.
Wow, okay.
And in his bedroom was a coffin, but I think there was also a bed. And we were led to believe he slept in the coffin. I think he slept in the bed.
Well, they didn't have like you guys sleep in a coffin?
I did. I think a couple of people did spend the night with John, and I never heard where or how they slept.
Oh. I was kind of hoping they slept in the coffin.
I do. That would be interesting.
I've lived my whole life believing
Well, you
that
can do that because I can't contradict it. So
Oh man. I was I was so easily fooled by this TV show.
I'm sorry. I'm destroying your illusions. I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah, I mean they were most of, and that's what I would tell people. Fiona, for all her showbiz, uh, she's a Wiccan. She believes in Wiccan philosophy, and Iatishia was not a voodoo priestess, but she is very devoted to her African religions. And Allie, you're a simple soul. I'm sorry. Um, and Avocado's a mix. I mean, if you ever saw him on his TV commercials, he is somewhat in it for the money, but he does believe in the health foods and the nature. And art is truly is what he is. He, sorry, I don't think there's anything false about art, and I feel like I'm leaving somebody out. Maybe not, but they were pretty much true to their lifestyle. Well, Don, because hate to break it to you, he's not really a vampire. Uh,
Shucks.
but he plays one on TV. But he would play the role quite well.
Well, I mean, he got on TV for it, and he what was it? He was on Tyra and stuff. So
Right.
Michael T. What? I mean, I was pretty sure that he ate food,
Yeah.
but he probably does the blood thing too. I'm sure.
He may have, and he also, I believe, he experimented with different, not experimented, took certain minerals or something. But he would, I mean, there is a whole, um, probably a lot of you listening around tonight know about. There is a whole legitimate subculture, not legit. I don't know if legitimate is the right word, but the whole subculture of vampire lifestyle type things, and I'm pretty sure he was into it because when I took my sons to meet everybody, we went out to dinner once, and Don was there, and it was one of the. It wasn't your typical place to the point where a couple of people came up to him. I remember they had someone brought a box or something in a bag. He started pulling something else, and Don slapped it away. He said, "There are kids here tonight." He wouldn't let whoever this was show whatever was in the box. So it was. I don't know.
What?
I'm,
Oh boy.
I'm assuming it was something extraordinarily kinky or weird, but he was kind enough to not let my kids see it.
That's good.
He's a good guy. He was a good guy. Wasn't a pain in the neck. No, he wasn't actually. He was, um, we stayed in touch for a long time. I visited him several times, and once he was living in Vegas for a while, and, my husband and I went to Vegas. We had dinner with him and his girlfriend, so it's it was nice.
That's good. Let's see. You said then, the day before the nature hike, I stayed up by the pool talking with him until 3 or 4. He told me about himself, the vampire community, and he taught me how to see the ether and
That's
talked about how he could
that's
leave
what I
his body at night.
that's what I was talking about before, the ether. So, yeah, whoever it was that said astral projection, I don't remember if he used that phrase or not, but that's what he was talking about.
Let's see. Bonnie, what is your most memorable experience? Is there a specific event that you hold near and dear to your heart?
The pit.
The pit. That's what you said then too. You said being covered in animal intestines and being able to laugh.
Yep, the pit.
That's funny. Bonnie, did you ever meditate a lot with either Fiona or Art more often than the other?
I don't know what I said then, but I don't remember meditating much at all.
You said, actually, what I did was yoga for an hour or two every day.
And I don't remember who. I feel like it was. I want to say it was Avocado that did that, but I could be wrong. And I sucked.
And all you people think I'm crazy because I think Bigfoot is real. Nobody thinks you're crazy because you think Bigfoot is real. We think you're crazy because you're British, Aardvark. Anyway. Oh, she said that. How you said, like, you sort of unfocus your eyes and stare, like, into the air.
Yeah, I mean, I think any of you could, if you sort of talk yourself into doing it, you can do it. I mean, I can do it now. It's like an impressionist painting, or not impressionist, pointillism. You can see,
Yeah, somebody told me that it was like your nerve endings or whatever firing off in your eyes.
yeah. I mean, I'm staring at a wall. I can make myself see the little dots right now.
Yeah, exactly. Uh oh, let's see. You were not discriminated against, Aardvark. You're so silly. Um,
But I don't know what that last thing referred to, but I'm sure it was entertaining.
which
He's biting his tongue, so apparently you have.
oh yeah, because Anthony, Dark Gift is his name is Anthony. Him and another person who watches and has been on Takume, they'll come on and correct like things that the show gets wrong.
Oh,
Um, so that's what he's biting his tongue about that right now.
well, if I've said anything wrong, I
No,
spent days during a week.
no. They don't. No, they're not meaning you. They're meaning like stuff that they did on the show.
Oh, yeah.
That's all.
Well, like I said,
Uh,
Tishia wasn't even a voodoo priestess. I don't know, and she got in trouble for that.
yeah, there was a whole on the Wikipedia. It mentions like a uh, lawsuit.
Yeah, because she was misrepresenting the culture or the religion. Okay, no, everybody. Okay, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. As I click. They said, "What did you guys do for recreation?" And you had when the cameras weren't filming, but you had said you didn't even know when they were. Was there a time when like everyone did officially leave, like the crew officially left for the night, or was there like two crews on two shifts?
There were crews all the. There had to be crews all the time. We didn't necessarily see them, but from what I saw in the show, there was obviously filming going on 24/7. I mean, maybe they stopped at like 1 in the morning till in the middle of the night, but
Did the crew stay there too, or were they like off site?
I don't think they all. I don't know. I don't think they were all there. There would be no reason. Probably was just like a work day for a lot of them. They came and they filmed and went home, and then probably the editing studios were somewhere else. I
Hmm.
would imagine.
You had said there was no TV, radio, books, music, magazines, so we talked, played cards, and played endless rounds of Uno.
Oh, okay.
And then Eric, Knoll, and I played a lot of Mancala.
Oh, so there were games. I do remember Mancala. Oh, good. I'm glad I'm talking to myself because I'm reminding myself of things. Yes,
It is a little bit like talking to yourself, isn't
it
it?
is. It's like, oh, that's right. Okay. Okay, me.
Well, it's there forever. Yeah, I'll send it to you so that
Yes,
in
please.
case it's an archived site, but in case the archived site goes away, then you'll have it. Let's see. How did the white clay feel at the goddess ritual?
The white. Oh, like white, like clay, like mud. Just like mud.
You said it was warm and smooth.
It was. Okay.
How
Me knows more than I do.
mean um what how did she keep it warm? Was it like over a little
I do not
hot?
know.
Oh, okay. You're like, I don't care.
I just don't remember.
uh what do you think about the alliance Eric is forming?
I no longer remember that. So what did me say?
Bonnie said, it was much more spiritual than it was portrayed on TV. I was surprised because I didn't know what was going on, yet not surprised because I know there were some issues between him and a couple of other people.
Well, that
That's,
was the one. It was against. It wasn't just. It was against Nicole, right?
yeah, it was him and like Knoll and Lana. And yeah,
Yeah. See, that's
against
why they got
Nicole.
rid of me. I wouldn't have done that stuff.
Yeah, you were already gone. Did you ever get the chance to talk to the alts about why they chose their lifestyles?
I'm sure I did.
You said yes, and then you said Ia followed it as a way to reconnect with her heritage.
That sounds right. And
Fiona had,
I told
sorry,
you what Art told me about
yep.
the body modification. Is
Fiona had tried many.
that
Sorry, I talked again. Hello. Oh, she froze again.
now we're back.
Uh, where did it go? Okay. So you said Fiona had tried many spiritual paths and found this one made her happiest. Am I frozen or are you frozen?
No, I'm just waiting. I thought you were still reading.
Oh no, that was it.
Oh, okay.
And then you said Dawn is what Dawn is.
Whatever that is.
And Avo's into all things healthy and natural. Some of the people on my panel have said it doesn't seem like Avocado really should have been there because his lifestyle wasn't really that alternative. He was just healthy.
Yeah, well, he was the combination of the nudist and the healthy, and my bigger problem with him was I just, and I think he's shown it. I think I always got the feeling he was just in it for money. That it wasn't quite as pure as some of the others were. I'm still surprised Art did it because actually Art told me afterwards he would never do anything like that again because he felt it compromised himself too much.
It sometimes does seem like he's not very happy about stuff that's happening.
Yeah,
He's in his little blanket over his head.
yeah.
Uh have you seen any of Avocado's movie?
No.
Oh, he did this movie that has this really beautiful like nature photography of like Norway or something.
Oh,
And it's really pretty.
okay. I'll try to find it. You're giving me all kinds of inspiration to go do a deep dive into all this again.
Oh, welcome Hervoyer. Hervoyer is a a regular. Bonnie, I'm dying to know if you're thinking of getting a tat or piercing.
It's funny. Fiona wanted me to get one that she actually designed one for me that was a moon one, a waning full and waxing moon because it was the 3 stages of womanhood. But what I've been trying to talk myself into, my husband was all for it. He bought me a gift certificate once. A business I developed for myself, a writing and editing business. I called Purple Unicorn because I found this phrase that said, unicorn
That's still on your LinkedIn.
there, yeah. Well, it's still my business. Unicorns are the most elusive of creatures, but rarest of all is the purple unicorn. So I have a little logo and it's a purple unicorn, and that's what I would like to have put on me somewhere, but I can't decide where. And I have never done it.
Oh man. So it's been a while of you trying to figure out where to put it.
Yeah, I don't well, it's like, I don't know. Okay, group. Where's your purple unicorn tattoo or logo? I could put my wrist, I figure in the shoulder, I'll never see it, so what's the good? On the wrist, I feel like I'd commit suicide. Ankle, I don't know where you
What is it? The 3 stages of the goddess, the maiden,
it's
mother, and
right.
crone.
Yes, exactly. I wasn't sure how thrilled I was to be referred to as a crone at age 50, but Fiona explained to me that it was not a pejorative term, that it was, a term of respect. It was the wise woman.
Dean's got his tattoo machine. He's ready.
Okay.
Let's see. And you did
California and have Art still owns his Church of Steel tattoo and piercing thing. I should let Art do it. That's
did
me.
it move? Because I couldn't find it. Like every page I found for it was years and years old.
No, I as of maybe a year ago. No, even more recently than that. I talked to him more recently than that, and he said he was still doing Church of Left Butt Cheek. No, thank you. He said he it was still there, and he was still doing it.
Okay. Well, he must just not like upkeep the YouTube and stuff, which is
Yeah,
fine. I understand.
it's moving again.
What? Oh
Your
yeah,
dog's
dog. Yeah. There you go, everybody. My dog's alive. He doesn't move for like a long time, so everyone's like, "Is your dog dead?" Like, no, he's just lazy. Yeah, and you did say the same thing that you considered a tattoo that Fiona's designed one for you, of the moon. Uh, did you ever think at any point that maybe the alts are well-paid actors, like Eric and Knoll said in the first episode?
I think we all probably considered that. We speculated. Yeah,
Apparently, Don told you that he was afraid the guests were actors,
he did. Oh yeah,
and that it was like a double thing that was gonna be, oh, really, you were the guests, like.
that would have been a nice twist.
We wanted to see how normal we could get you to be. Ha ha ha. Oh, that would be interesting if they brought the alts and the guests back and you were like, now we make the challenges. What challenge would you have them do? That was Bonnie flavored challenge.
Oh, it would have been. I don't know. It would have been boring. I don't know. Would have had him do a word game. I don't
A word game?
know. That would have been boring.
That's not boring. I
Wordle right now, I'm heavy, big time into Wordle right now.
Oh, Wordle. Oh.
Yeah.
I know what that is for some reason, even though I don't have like a phone that has apps or anything. I have a flip phone. So,
You don't need actually it's the apps are not where you go. Just type in Wordle and it's like UK language power or something like that.
oh, okay. A mad bad lib.
I like that.
There you go. It's already ready for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh my god, Dean.
I've written those. Yeah, let's not go there.
Sorry. That's just how I said it.
Oh
Okay,
no.
former alts babysit these rowdy children. Sounds like Don would do okay. He knew what was appropriate and inappropriate, so that's good. Where is it? Okay. Let's see.
I am going to have to go soon because it's a quarter to midnight here, and I have to get up for a tour tomorrow. But can do a few more minutes.
Okay. Well, it's almost done. During the scroll burning ceremony, what was on your scroll?
See, there was me being a coward. It was something about, I think I probably said in the chat, so you don't have to repeat it from the chat. It was something about I was in a bad place at work, and I was saying something really negative about work because I thought the scroll was going to be private and they were just going to burn it. And so I ranted about my job and some people there. And when I realized things were being read out loud, I ran up to Fiona and I said, "Please don't read this. If you read this, my job is over." And they never read it.
Oh, that was nice of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you said it had to do with some frustrations I was having with my career, not nearly as interesting as what the others had to say.
Right.
Then would you ever do reality TV again? Then you said probably as soon as they could put me on a plane.
I would have. Right. Like I told you, I went and I auditioned for Survivor right after that.
Yep. How do you feel about viewers of the show imitating the alts?
I'm trying to read my own mind. I probably didn't have a problem with it.
You did say that you thought people should be careful.
Oh, well, yeah, because I did. Yeah. I think there were some people that, yeah, like if you're going to start experimenting with drinking blood, you're going to give yourself all kinds of wonderful illnesses. And if you're going to stick hooks through your shoulders, then probably not going to have a good outcome.
Man, Anthony did stay up pretty late. Bonnie is rad.
Well,
She
it
is rad.
was nice to kind of sort of meet you.
Oh, awesome! He's gonna do some of the tracks for me. Great. He's a musician, and I've asked him to help me out with some of that. Dean, you don't feel attacked. Stop it. Thank you for entertaining us. You are an absolute gem. See, I told them. I talked you up, but I don't think I did a good enough job.
It's been a joy doing this. It's been wonderful just knowing people even still anywhere thinks about the show or wanted to do this. So thank
I
you
think
guys.
about it all the time.
Well, thank you guys a lot for giving me another experience.
Do you remember do you remember Fiona's ball python's name?
God, that's almost at the tip of my brain, but I don't remember it now. So was it there?
Oscar.
Oscar. It was not at the tip of my brain. That doesn't sound.
You're like, that's not what it was at all.
Nope.
Yeah, people are enjoying your stories. Let me see. It's almost done, I promise. Did Fiona offer to teach any of the guests her beliefs?
I'm trying to remember. I know the first night I was there, because I had sort of a inkling about what the show was going to be about. I think I impressed her because I said, "Are you witch or Wiccan?" And she said, "Wiccan." And we talked about that a little bit. And over the course of the show, all of the alts tried to, and again, you didn't see a lot of this. They tried to tell us more seriously about their beliefs. So not just Fiona, all of them.
Oh, cool. Glad to hear your stories. They're saying thank you.
Thank all of you guys. Like I said, this has been such a pleasure.
You've been lovely. Put in a good word for us with the other house guests.
I'll actually try. Yeah. I'll see if I can hop on
It
and
it would be awesome. I mean, I got a hold of Knoll, obviously, and he said he'd come on, so I'm gonna set that up.
well,
I
after you do, I'll join you whenever you want, Jason. After you've had Knoll do it, maybe I can reach out to some of the
She
other.
might think that we're mean or something. I don't want.
Oh, what's the next episode? Is there something disturbing?
No, we don't have filters.
Well, maybe I didn't know what I was asking or saying when I said don't worry about filters. Maybe I was lucky worried about filters. That's supposed to shock me, guys. It
Yeah,
makes
we would prefer for her to remember us fondly.
well, I'll do that instead. I'll remember you.
We could do a special one maybe where we watch your episodes. Um like just with you though. Let's
Yeah,
see.
there's that many of them.
Yeah, but still. Do you have any advice
Some of
you
you
would
haven't seen the finale, so that was another one then.
well, oh yeah, that's true. Do you have any advice you would give to future guests? Because back then people wanted another season.
I
The
imagine
fans
that's
did.
that just go in open-minded and let go and enjoy yourself.
Yeah, pretty much. We're
Oh,
not
you mean you rip apart the show? It deserved it.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, definitely ripping apart is a good way to put it. And
Yeah.
Dean does get angry.
I like I said, what they showed and how they edited it and how they sensationalized it, you would have liked a lot of the real stuff that happened, and it just wasn't in the show.
Man, we need to write sci-fi and demand the Bonnie cut. Do. You've answered a couple of these already. How you said you always felt open-minded, but now you feel more open-minded. You said you feel a rush of affection when you see someone with tattoos.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
Um,
true.
good. I have tattoos.
Although the tattoos have gotten a lot more, now that they became more it's oddly different because I don't see people with tattoos. I used to think of art and think this is an individual with something to say, and that's still true of many of them, I'm sure, but a lot of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of tattoos now. A lot of them do mean something different to people who get them on their
Yeah,
face and stuff.
yeah, so it's well, and also the ones that just do it because it's trendy or they're posers or something like that, then it's but I guess the point is still that you can't judge which people are which without talking to them first.
Restore the Bonnie verse.
Well, my husband will be happy to hear that 'cause he's very into the multiverse, so if we
Oh
can
boy,
add a Bonnie-verse tangent to that, he'll like it.
it's more counterculture to not have
Yeah,
tattoos now.
that's kinda what I was meaning, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, we Dean and Michael and uh
And I'm
I
sure you
think
guys are
Wolvo has some.
legitimate tattoo people.
We're what?
Legitimate with your tattoos.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah. You tattoo for the right reasons.
We're not we're not just a bunch of comic geeks at all. Yeah.
I've
Yeah,
been to
you
my
are.
share of Comic-Cons, so
You've been to Comic-Cons?
oh god, yeah.
Oh
My
my gosh.
husband must has at least, like, 3,000 comic books.
What are some of your guys' favorites?
He's all about Marvel. I mean, he's got DC, he's got the others, but he's all about Marvel.
Just all Marvel?
I could get him in here. Um, let's see, who are his favorites? I don't wanna answer for him, I'll misrepresent. But Marvel Universe over DC for sure.
You could bring him in. No one will complain.
Oh, hold on.
Also, Billy, I'm so glad you have a Backstreet Boys tattoo. You just became one of my favorite people.
The
What
people
is it of?
call have some questions about your preferences of comic books. Would you like to join us for a moment?
Okay.
Seriously.
I'll ask her later, Dean.
Okay, my husband's coming in.
Awesome. He does he get to talk to people who want to interview you much?
No. Well, this hasn't happened much. Okay, this he has the most disturbed look on his face. This is Allie. This is my husband.
Hi.
Hi, Ellie.
Hi. We're big fans of your wife.
So am I.
Oh, good.
But they were just saying they want to create the Bonnieverse, and I said you'd be happy because you're into the multiverse, and that led into a discussion of DC. I said you were definitely Marvel over DC, and then they want to know your favorite comic book. So go for it.
You know, we're going back a few years, so anything newer than 1980, I probably don't know about. So
Oh, that's probably better. The new stuff's not that great anyway.
yeah, so I mean, it was you know your basic ones: Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, X-Men, Avengers, Iron Man, Daredevil. You know, the basic line.
Hey, Bonnie's husband.
That's over.
How do you feel about independent comic books?
Is that Honey or Bonnie? Or Honey? Him?
I think he's
he
saying it. I think he's saying it as like a term of endearment.
I think it's great that there's an industry for comic books. I'm not familiar with independent books.
Okay, that's all the people that you're talking to. We all do independent comic books, so not Marvel or DC. All new stuff.
Yeah.
That some of it is people from Marvel and DC who have done their own thing now.
Right.
And that's how we all started talking.
And I've seen different lines like Vertigo and Epics and a variety of different labels, but I never really. It was after I had gotten really out of actively reading them.
Okay. Go full geek. You're among friends.
I'm sorry? I'll go full geek. Unfortunately, I have a collection of comic books that just sit in boxes. I haven't really done anything with them for quite a number of years. So I'm trying to figure out what to do with them. Emotionally, I have a hard time wanting to say goodbye to them, but we're kind of tired of every time we move, 40 boxes are following us.
Oh, man. Thousands?
Yeah, thousands.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, well, listen, comics died in 1990. We're all gonna send you our books, so you're gonna have more comics now.
I'd be glad to read them and cherish them.
I'm not underselling you guys. I was just explaining to them what the deal was, okay? Just imagining his collection is making me tear up. Oh no. That sounds like a retirement fund.
That's what I've been trying to tell him.
Well, we are. I mean, we're in our retirement stage now, so.
There we
go.
Okay, we'll do it.
Oh my gosh, Dean, come on. Okay, we need to talk prices. There you guys go. We're willing to fund you guys' retirement.
That's right. I don't know if you guys saw your independent comic books, but there's a really great exhibit that just went on the Marvel. What was it called? The Marvel Super? I don't know. It was the
Marvel
museum, the
Marvel Universe.
Marvel Universe, and it was.
It's a traveling museum show,
and it's the whole history of it, and it was really good.
Cool.
Yeah, if it comes to town, you'd probably want to go see it. It was really, really good.
So, do you guys dress up when you go to Comic-Con?
Once upon a time.
We haven't been to Comic-Con in many, many years.
But I think we used to dress up.
Not to Comic-Con.
Not to Comic-Con?
No.
Oh, okay. Sorry. We didn't, but we went.
What did you dress up as when you did dress up?
No, I guess we didn't dress up. We just went.
Comic-Con, I was always in awe of the people that did, but I never did myself.
Oh, well, you said not to Comic-Con, though. That implies that you've dressed up elsewhere.
We used to dress up going to like Renaissance Fair type things.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So just like medieval garb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Renaissance fairs are fun.
I've been
Oh
going
my gosh.
as a kid. I love them. Still go to them.
All right.
Are you are you proud of how Bonnie acted in the show?
Yes, I am.
I told you I would have chickened out if it wasn't for him. He made me go. He insisted.
She, I always admired her willing to try new things, and
But that didn't start until Madhouse. That was probably the first time I ever did
yeah.
that.
Well, even before that, the first time you went scuba diving and skydiving, and
Skydiving was after Madhouse
I
too.
guess so.
Yeah, that's when I got brave. So okay, he's going to go back to his.
Well, it was nice chatting with you guys.
Well, Bonnie's husband is unexpectedly cool. With that shirt, he kind of looks like what the Dread Pirate Roberts would look like when he got older.
That's a great compliment.
All right.
He's saying,
He was like, okay, you can keep flattering me.
I love Princess Bride. But that's what, that's one of the reasons he looks good in any kind of hat, pirate hat, cowboy hat, anything. He's yeah. And he does,
Okay.
yeah, it's right.
Well, we the indie comics scene is called Comicsgate, and we are a hat group, so
Oh,
we all have hats.
all right.
So.
My people.
Yes, your people. Oh, and apparently Wolvo noticed it too. You have a very nice shirt.
Well, it's comfortable.
And even the gold chain around his neck. Sorry.
That's just some of his spoils.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
right.
You pillaging.
That's, yeah,
I've never thought about that. I'm married to the Dread Pirate Roberts.
There you go.
It.
All right. Nice chatting with you.
That's why we've been, if she likes, wait. That's why we've been married 43 years. Please send her the link to my cover of the theme. Oh, yeah. Please.
Yep, we spotted the gold chain. Let's see. Let's see if there's anything else left. Do you think those of us watching will learn something from the show? Is the last question.
I hope all the things we talked about, the things we were just saying, not judging by appearances, to take a risk, to, I remember now, during my interview, they said something about judging from appearances. And I remember I pointed to myself and said something like, well, if you saw me on the street, would you think I would be trying out for a reality show? So the appearances thing works both ways, that the people, even who look very conservative or normal, they may have a weird little streak inside them too. So it's, the not judging by appearances can work in both directions.
That's true.
Well, I hope you like your dad and his wife, but it sounds like that's good. Thank you.
Thanks, Bonnie's husband.
Yeah, thank you, hon.
Oh, Jack has not stopped smiling during this whole interview.
Well, that makes me happy too. Thank you, Jack.
Yeah, that's a good sign. He's a resident priest. I love him. Let's see. Oh, hello, Risey Lee. Welcome. Michael T dubs him the B-Hub.
Or the B-Hunk.
The B-Hunk. The link. Okay. I'll send her anything afterward in the emails and stuff.
Yeah, please. Please.
We all agree we will not be this good for Knoll.
It's good. Knoll wouldn't want you this good. He'll give as good as he gets, I think.
Hopefully.
And I'm gonna watch.
Maybe his fiance has tamed him. Maybe he's just totally chill and boring now. I doubt it, but
Deep down, I suspect he's still Knoll.
he did answer the email. He said, "Yo."
out there. And just the
So
fact that he's willing to do this tells me something too. Just like I've never quite grown up either.
it'll be fun. This was fun.
Well,
Um,
well,
when
I said thank you. It was fun for me, so thanks a lot.
well, thank you for coming on. When you wrote back, like my face hurt because I was like, oh, you guys, like I sent them all emails like, guess who? Guess who? They were like, who? I said, it was Bonnie. It was a really good day.
I'm glad to bring joy into your life. That's a one.
Yeah, and then for days I was like, we're gonna set it up, and then I telling everyone, in 2 weeks it's gonna be time, and I'm gonna talk to her. She's so sweet. Like they probably have totally heard enough of it. Yeah, I was pretty much starstruck. Yeah, weird and unexpected. Very cool.
Oh, I'm
May
so
B
glad.
Hunk's tower stand tall and sturdy. Praise Jenga. Oh my gosh.
Okay, I'll pass that on to him.
Allie is exactly this awkward. Yeah, I can't not be whatever this is. Yeah,
Next
I'll
time
send
we meet up for something, I would love to meet you guys, but this was
well,
I guess.
I'm in Florida and you said you like to come to Universal and
I do.
Disney.
I do.
So
I have your
anytime.
email. Okay, I have your email.
Yeah.
Okay.
We in the first part of February, we're taking my kid to Universal for her first time. So
Oh, well, you're gonna love Harry Potter Land.
well, I've been there. She just hasn't.
Oh.
Yeah.
Both great.
Yeah,
Both sides.
our joke from seeing all of the alts and some of the guests played Jenga and they were treating it really seriously. So that's why we say the praise Jenga thing.
I was just about to ask you. I was going to say I can't leave without asking about praise.
Yeah, it's just a joke from the show. We've kind of built our own little verse, whatever thing. Actually meet us, that would be a noble day. Allie's made an actual female friend. Yeah.
For life, Allie. For life.
Aw. You can't tell because I'm so pale and my light is bright, but I blushed. It's a show in joke. Yeah. Thank you for spending a freakishly long time
Oh.
and donating your time. That's really nice.
Like I said, I've said, I keep, and I really mean it. I loved it. So thank you guys.
I'll have to buy all your books except the $88 ones so that you can sign them for me.
Okay, but I don't like I said, unless somebody wants to help me rewrite the storyline a little bit, I don't attest entirely to the quality. But they got published, so I was proud of that accomplishment.
Do you get a portion when someone buys it?
The royalty, yeah. For the 2 young adult ones, I do.
Okay.
Just to show you how long they've been out, my last royalty check was, I believe, 4 cents. So they've been out for a while.
Well, that's Amazon. Before I started selling these just myself, I think I got like 25 cents from my last royalty on there, but I've done better selling them myself, so
yeah,
I do that now.
About doing that. I do have a couple little kid children books in mine. I want to write for my grandson something called The Grump Truck. So I'll see if
That sounds adorable.
That's because how he was acting for a while. So.
Oh man, they all want to say hi and goodbye. Is that okay? Really fast?
Sure.
Okay. Whoops. I'll send them the invite and they'll come on and you can see the.
You mean real faces?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love that. I wish there'd been real faces the whole time.
Well, they were nervous.
I've never been accused of making people nervous, so that I feel like I have a new superpower. That's pretty cool.
They were nervous that they'd scare you away. I said, I don't think so. You guys are pretty normal in comparison to the alts, and if she likes them, you'll be fine.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Will Wolvo put on a shirt? Make your best.
No, don't put on a shirt, Wolvo. Okay, don't. There's no name, so you got to tell me who you are.
This is Michael T.
Hey,
Pleasure
Mike.
to meet you, Bonnie. How's it
Nice
going?
to meet you. Oh, nice to hear voices. Oh, this is great. I'm not laughing at your physique. I'm delighted you did it. Hi, Wolverine.
Given the small margin between me and 50, I appreciate that. Thanks.
He wore a shirt once and people got mad, so
They did. I got shit for that.
Thank you. Thank you
Dean,
for sharing.
you can do this. Get in here.
Delightful to meet you. Thank you so much for your time. This was
Yes.
lovely.
Yeah, this has been an awesome interview. Just hearing about all of this,
Yeah.
like directly from the mouth of somebody through people we know. This is surreal and it's enjoyable as hell. It's,
It's so
And even more than the stories is just like seeing you hang out, because going through the show, we've all assigned you characters.
okay. Do I get to see these?
Well, like we've characterized all of the contestants and the alts and everything, like for comedy purposes. Like we've had to like come up with who these people are for the purposes of how we're going to roast this.
well, and the way the producers would present people as well, so we kind of like embellished on that because like all they said, all they gave us about Knoll, for example, was that he swept hair in a barber shop, and that was all he did. Like he became our Al Bundy hero.
Yeah,
instantly.
I do believe he was sort of in between jobs at the time, so you know, it may not have been far from the truth.
and like he's like in the interview in the first episode, he said, "I sweep hair." And then
the rest of the time
they
it
kept
says
saying
janitor.
I'm like, no, he's not a janitor. Dude
He's a hair
doesn't wash he sweeps hair. He's not even a janitor. Cut some slack.
So they downplayed your job and like upplayed his job.
Whatever.
All right.
Oh, who else came on? Wait.
Anthony.
Mark Gibbs. Okay.
Anthony.
Nice to meet you. Yeah, you can call me Anthony. Yeah, nice to meet you. This has been awesome.
It's been.
Yes.
What is all that behind you? Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, we told you we're comic nerds.
Yeah.
So,
Great.
He's at a crime scene. Shush.
Anthony lives in a acid trip.
Love is showing up. That's okay.
Yeah. God damn it, Dean.
Yeah, where is Dean? He has it too.
I'm about to lower my opinion of Australia by like a whole bunch of degrees if he doesn't get in here.
God, you guys.
Yeah.
he said he was at work.
He said that like an hour ago.
He's in the chat now.
I mean, this is true. You are on your phone right now, Dean.
At this rate, Clayton's gonna get here before Dean.
Oh, I see it.
I'm not home.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dean. Well,
then she's not gonna marry
there
you.
he is.
Fuck off.
Dean.
Oh, there you go.
James's ghost.
Yeah, because he got canceled and kicked off, so he made a new account.
Oh. And so I'm sorry for your loss.
Okay, I'm here. Start again.
Oh.
Start over.
Yeah,
This is Dean, and he gets the most angry.
Hi, Bunny. It's
Hi,
a pleasure
Dean.
to meet you.
Now, is that your real voice, or are you synthesizing?
Yes.
No, this is actually my real voice.
Oh, I
Impressive, yes?
Not his real
Okay.
diction. Normally he's far angrier.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah, he's being a little smooth with you though. He's just like, "Hi, Bunny."
Well, is he the one that wants to marry me? Then?
Yeah.
Yes, I can cook.
Yeah.
Dean needs a green card like a lot.
Okay.
It's that or the COVID camps.
The voice is doing a good job of persuading me. So
I told you.
Right?
So
Do you like my voice, Bunny?
I do.
Rein it in, Dundee.
Dundee. Yeah, Dean does get very, very angry at the show. I think the only time anyone got angry was when me and Tokami came on.
I don't like reality TV show full stop. Yeah.
Yeah, me
And
either.
from the very start, I have said, like, no one learnt anything from this show. Like, there was no point to it from the very beginning.
But there, like I said, there could have been.
There could have been. Yeah, they were almost there. They almost had a point.
Yeah,
This is all
Bonnie-
about production studios again. Yeah.
Bonnie
Yeah.
learned though.
Yeah.
She proved that some people did.
Well, yeah, the
Against
exception to
all
the rule.
odds.
Yeah.
Serious note. I know it's late for you, Bonnie. From all of us, very seriously, thank you for appearing. Thank you for showing up. Allie, great job contacting you.
Yeah.
You're a weird stalker girl, but you use your powers for good sometimes.
Thank you guys. Invite me back again sometime, even just to hang. I'd love to see you again.
We'll
Yeah, I
talk
think
more
the
about
answer to the real
your
question of do we have to keep the show from her is we just have to make sure that she's tired and everything will be fine.
Yes, Allie, send her the playlist. There you go.
There are episodes that I
don't-
haven't even seen.
I don't want to upset my grandma. That's how I feel. I'm worried my grandma will be disappointed in me.
She'll judge you.
Their grandmas, their grandmas. Remember, I am a grandma. So.
Grandmas will never stop loving you, Allie.
Yeah.
This is true. This is true. No, this is Allie, probably one of the best things I think you've done in a while. So
This was awesome. But we do need to let this lovely woman go to bed.
I gotta go to bed. I had insomnia last night. I had 2 hours of sleep. I was trying to go to sleep at 9 o'clock when this started.
How are you even awake now? Yeah.
Because this has been awesome. This has been like I said I was going to bed an hour ago.
So did I. So where that get us from? Good night, guys, and I hope I'll see you again sometime. Okay.
Good night,
Good
Bonnie.
night to
Thank
B-Hunk
you.
for
Good night,
us.
Bonnie.
Yes,
Thank you
yes,
so
good night to
much.
B-Hunk.
Thanks.
Good night, B-Hunk.
You could just close the window.
Okay, we'll do that. Okay, bye, guys.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
You're gonna have to
Close
kick
your
her.
laptop and it just
Yeah.
put it to sleep.